the group, not we, went hunting for a family that has gone missing in the farmlands, only to find out in the quivering forest the family had been devoured by a bone fairy. After a pretty decent scrape with the bone fairy, they managed to defeat it, bring closure to the lost farmers, and make the farmlands a lot safer for the remaining peasants and people living about there. Leaving to the other farmlands, they were investigating the disappearance of livestock. And after asking around and laying in wait for possible suspects, they found kobolds have been taking the livestock away. As we wrapped up, we saw a giant dragon flying through the clouds, lightning striking around it as it soared over to the east of Flan. And that's where we left off, so that's where we'll pick up. You guys are standing on the road. What used to be a pretty clear, starry night is now dark. It looks like it's about to rain, but you don't feel any moisture. The hair on the back of your neck is standing up like you've got static going all through your clothing.
I know, or Elroth knows which direction the dragon is flying towards, or what he's flying towards, correct?
You know what is in that direction, yeah? That is the Flan sister town of Melvaunt.
To find the right ambience. It's hard when it's the
It's not a good mix at the moment. It's a hard ambiance to nail. Man, it's hot. The kobolds seem to be nervously scurrying about around you, not running away, although they are kind of wary of you, but they seem to be staying put, not really in a rush to go back, not really in a rush to get away. Yeah, this works.
All while this is going on, Monsky's just staring directly where the dragon flew with kind of like a glare in his eyes, an intensity in his eyes.
What's the name of the city again?
Melvaunt.
Melvaunt.
Yeah. Melvaunt.
There's no way to ascertain the color of the dragon.
It was above the clouds, so.
We just
saw
Yeah. It was like just right above the clouds, so there was like a thin layer. You could make out like a very sharp outline. Impossible to not recognize it as a dragonoid.
Is there any dragon keep here in Melvaunt?
There is not. Not anymore. There used to be, and in your travels, it's pretty much like 8 rocks on top of each other now.
And okay, one last question before I stop asking questions.
No worries.
Does Elroth know of any warning system used from Flan and Melvaunt to signal each other in terms of crisis? Like in medieval cities, they would have a tall spire that they could light a beacon. Like Lord of the Rings, they would light beacons.
Yeah.
Gondor calls for aid.
And Rohan will answer.
Is there any sound weird?
Does I sound weird? What do you mean?
I don't know. You were sounding fine, and all of a sudden you started sounding weird.
I'm dying. I'm actually have a cute liver failure from these drugs. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, thank God.
In my death, in my will, I petition to give my chlamydia to Eric.
Deal.
By means of injection.
Damn
So is
Well,
there anything like that or not really? No.
That's one wrap in that sentence.
Anyways, moving past that. The town, they would have magicians use spells to cast back and forth to the other
But
higher.
nobody has that in our group. How far
Yeah.
away from you from the clan?
About an hour out.
That city's gone. Alroth will walk up to one of the kobolds and just grab his head, and then lift him off the ground if possible. Where is your dragon going?
As it speaks in unrecognizable Dragonic, you just
Monspeed displaying a level of like losing it that like he's normally calm and collected. He barks over his shoulder. Where's the damn dragon heading?
it
He said
again.
that to Chromatic.
It goes like silent out of like trying not to crap itself as it's
Yeah.
being picked up by a giant and getting yelled at by a cloaked figure, in Draconic. Just and it would spawn back to probably to Melvaunt. The voice is a sword. I hate kobolds.
I mean,
Yeah.
they smell peppers.
Mm. But yeah, just heading to Melvaunt. I don't think I can physically do that with how my voice works.
That's
How
okay.
far away is Melvaunt from our location?
It's about 2 hours away. Because you got the cart.
Is that? Oh, we don't even have our cart.
Yeah, you took your cart.
Do we have our cart?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
took
2
your
hours away
cart.
by cart?
Are you dumb?
Yes. Is that 2 hours away by cart?
Yeah, about 4 hours by walking.
Oh. The dragon will be there in like 15 minutes.
Well, they're dead.
Mission guys. Do we want to try to race to Melvaunt? Would probably be useless and just come across burning bodies like in Mulan. Or
I'm a Q and chip.
do we get the kobolds to take them back to wherever this camp is and find out what's happening?
Might be the most prudent idea.
We're not ready to fight a dragon.
No.
Not even close.
When was the last? Does Elroth know the last time a dragon was ever seen?
Though there has been friendly dragons and dragonoids, like wormlings and whatnot, not full dragons, and
Like full dragon.
full dragon.
Probably from Monspeed's War.
Not that long ago. There has been a few. About
Around.
60 years ago, there was a young dragon that kind of tried to start stuff outside town, and he was just pretty much put down. He was getting cocky. He thought he was big stuff, and he just got pincushioned by ballistas. They scraped the body, dumped what they couldn't back into the moon sea, and that pretty much was the last time a dragon was in the area until today.
Elroth will turn to Monspeed. Or who here speaks Draconic besides Monspeed as well?
Everyone.
Everyone other than your character.
Literally everyone else.
Great.
Well, I mean, you're not out of info, I guess. So.
Yeah, come on, bring some Minotaurs in so I actually have a way of speaking. How all useful is Minotaur gonna be? Elroth will turn to the three of you, but mostly Monspeed because he seems to be the one that's like.
Monspeed still hasn't broken his gaze with where the dragon went.
He seems to be the most disturbed, but like agitated.
Distraught?
No, I wouldn't say distraught. I would just say pissed off.
Horny.
Yeah.
I mean, horny warlocks are a thing. Any class can be horny.
We just have to have really good persuasion.
Luckily, I have a +4 to that.
Try your luck.
Elroth will turn to Monspeed.
Monspeed's still not broken the gaze at all, but he can sense you looking at him.
No, the other one. And he points to the one that he's not holding by his head. Take us to their camp, or I will rip this head off this kobold right here, right now.
Monspeed gaze finally breaks from looking off to where the dragon flew. He looks down at the kobold and says in Draconic, "Take us to your summoning site."
The camp?
Yes, the camp. Or
Must be you're too big brain for these kobolds.
apparently, like take us to your camp, or he dies.
Kill him and I'll take you to the camp.
I'm holding the other
Yeah,
one
North
still when
is just standing there like... Huh?
What did he say?
Wants me to pass my cue words from the conversation. So he said,
Well-
"Kill him, and I'll take you."
Yeah. Well, he said that he'll, if we kill that one, he'll just take us.
A lot of time. So right, and I'll just try to pull the head off the kobold.
Oh, make a strength check.
Oh, that's easy. I get +4 to strength checks.
You might give him a nice chiropractic treatment.
That's a 14 plus 4.
Yeah, it takes a second. It takes a second, and then you see the scales start popping. And then almost effortlessly, it's detached. Scales, like, fall down, flat all over the ground, and the body drops loose as you...
Alroth will cast thaumaturgy, so his eyes will light with like a silver haze over them, like almost like smoke rising from both of them. He'll look at the other kobold. He'll just say it
turn
basic.
gold.
He'll just say it because it's the platinum dragon. He
Well,
serves
you
the
said
platinum.
gold last time. What do you want from me?
He's doing silver this time. Leave me alone. I did gold for Finnegan. Alroth has always been silver and platinum. Anyways, Alroth will cast thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
So he has like this silverish smoke rising from his eyes. You can't even see his pupils. It's just like that haze. He just looks up at the other one, holding the head with like the. I'm assuming the spine's still attached.
Most of the spine, yeah.
Yeah. He just drops it on the floor. He just says in his comment, "Take us now." And then he just points at him, and then he points at the head on the ground. Oh, that's you next.
You don't even have to speak to Gunpowder. You could tell that was directly in its ears. You know it understood. He just... One sec! And he runs to the corpse of the kobold you just beheaded and starts digging through its bag. And it's pocketing like what seems to be like 13 different sized candles and like lower jawbone, and just seems to be looting all the trash off of his now decapitated comrade and rolling him over, patting him down, pulling chunks of leather off his gear, just pretty much dismantling anything the corpse had before. And then he starts he's walking a brisk walk, but his leg's also like this big, so it's not moving too fast, but he's...
As they're moving, Monspeed's walking, but he's walking with force. Like he's like stomping his feet as he's walking. I can watch Eric do that all the time.
How much longer are you gonna keep going?
So
It's really
it's a 2 hour trek, remember?
It's a 2-hour trek to the camp?
Mm-hmm. As you guys
So
are...
we're here and like the city's here, then that's 2 hours. That means it'll be like 2 hours that way. It's like a train.
As you're going down the road, you don't seem to be straying from the road as you're approaching the camp. Again, it's been a while. The clouds have gotten darker to the point where there's like no moonlight, no starlight coming through at all this time. The lightning stopped, so it's almost pitch black except for like 4 fireflies you see like 25 feet away. Your dark vision, those who have it, it's kind of coming in, but again, dark vision You see
I'll
dark in
rock
it.
the pot as a torch and light it.
It's a creepily dark night. Your torch doesn't seem to be even producing. It gets to like the sides of the road on either side, and it just kind of disappears into the dark grass. It's
Natural or unnatural phenomenon?
technically natural. It's pretty much just eclipsed at the moment. Not like lunar or solar, just cloud cover. But it's unsettling, and it makes you.
Taking everything into perspective.
Yeah, it puts you on edge. It's
Yeah.
You can't see anything until you come up to the top of a hill, and where you see an entire town ablaze. It's You see a keep on a hill in the center, being circled by a dragon, whereas the village around it is burnt and blaze, and you hear yelling and screaming. You're not even that far. You're not even that close, but you can hear the sounds of battle ringing out through the. It's a decent sized city too. Um, it's not as big as Flan, but it's by no means a small. Uh,
So it's almost like that town from Desolation of Smog, I think that was.
yeah. Think of it like that.
Attack that town.
Yeah. That's pretty much what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Again, the dragon's up high and super far away in the dark. You can't make out what type of dragon, how old, any details about that. But the kobolds seems to be kind of giddy and saying, close now, close. And as you approach, he kind of leads you into what you realize is a camp about 300 feet outside of town. It's Nothing's there, just a bunch of like makeshift tents and warm coals of fires, some leftover bones, or like eating bones. Um, it's just at the moment an unintended campsite, pretty much. Camp's here.
How many tents are set up?
There's about like 60 tents, like either side of what you can see in the firelight from the town, but you see it go and start to circle around the town. Not near the beach, but it goes around the left of the town, and it seems to be going on for you don't know how long, like fully surrounding it.
Can I make an investigation check to get a rough estimate of how many people live in this camp?
Sure.
Ugh, 7.
7. You don't even see really footprints as much as there's divots in the dirt where there's been so many footprints over the last couple hours. It's just patted down. You can tell there's like some like homemade bedrolls that are like just hay or grass. There's some actual bedrolls. It's hard to tell exactly how many. Um, just really not showing you anything too much. There's like extinguished bonfires, so you can tell it's a lot, but that's about all you can gather from that.
Is the attack still happening at the city, or is it just on fire now?
At the moment right now, the dragon is. You kind of watch it kind of flies around. It doesn't seem to be getting too much damage in on the keep, so it kind of flies up into the clouds, and it comes back every like 5 minutes and does a couple drive-bys before leaving just to make sure it doesn't get shredded by defenses, right? But in the town, again, about 100 feet away, you do hear the sounds of people screaming, people yelling, metal on metal, things exploding, right? Like small
Sounds of
explosions.
combat.
Sounds of combat, yes. Very one-sided combat.
On here, this Monspeed just kind of standing there, like some flames are engulfing his hands. Monspeed, who usually doesn't like to fight, is ready to fight.
We should probably help the people in the city, no? Yes, we can. The question is there anything that we can gather from this camp?
North is she was already kind of like poking around like the closest like stuff to where they were standing, like trying to like just peeking in tents,
Yeah.
like towing around anything that was on the ground.
This, you can tell. Actually, roll an investigation check before I go into anything, just to see exactly how much you find out.
11. That's like my best roll with this stupid piece of crap.
So, peering in, you it seems like this wasn't as much a camp as a more just rally point. It seems like they're obviously not permanently encamped here. It's literally just places to kind of sit down before whatever happened.
Does it look like a siege?
It doesn't look like a siege, no. It looks like just a bunch of figures ran into the town from. It's not a walled city, so it's pretty much as soon as you get into the house line, you're in the town.
Elroth will look at the group. Is there anything we need from this camp? Or should we go to the city and try to help where we can?
I'd say we probably should help people, as many people as we can.
We have to get moving. Time is of the essence. He'll draw his warhammer and hit the kobold.
Alright, roll an attack.
All I see is just like
24?
swing.
Oh yeah. So as the kobolds kind of distracted, it seems to be like chewing on one of those long wax candles. Kind of sees its own shadow in the torchlight, and kind of looks up just to see the hammer, and it just flattens him underneath the carriage. Pretty much, you hear the sound of popping scales and bone, and kind of twitching there under your hammer for a couple seconds.
He'll just shake off his end of his warhammer,
As he's running.
and he just runs towards the city.
Meanwhile, Monspeed's just kind of staring into the darkness of the city, like staring towards the city where Elroth went running, still kind of like seething.
As you're staring into the city, it seems like the flames get larger and larger, and they come closer, and you can feel the heat before you blink it away, and the city's still on normal fire.
And again, we'll walk up beside Monspeed once he sees the flames.
Right when he says that, the flames go out on Monspeed's hand, and he sells like almost like smoke out of his mouth. He's like, I have a feeling I know this all too well. We need to move now. He takes one of his hands through his hair and then just glides forward. after all that.
Maybe they just like find it. Let's help. Let's no one can help those who cannot help themselves. We'll
Monsby
follow
kind of
Monsby.
Monsby just kind of stops and says that and goes, "That's why we're doing this, right?" Goes forward like, "Don't worry, I can more or less keep it from control."
As you're running towards the town too, Finnegan, the flames, they seem to dance up higher than what they seem to be. You hear the screams of satyrs back in your village. You hear the music abruptly stop as the attack on your town happens. You hear people scream. You feel yourself running to your house to try to make sure your family's okay before you kind of blink it back and the flames is still just dancing low over a couple houses.
And that's on CPTSD.
And so we saw how Monsby reacts to PTSD. Just collects himself, hands to their hair, let's go. How does Finnegan react to PTSD? Character development.
Dab the pain away.
Finnegan will falter for a second as he takes in the flames.
I'm gonna roll a perception for Monsby to see if he notices it.
But after about a couple of seconds, he'll shake it off.
21.
You do notice him kind of slow down almost to a stop. But it was only for a couple seconds, and he quickly picks up his pace.
But
Wait,
Oh,
when
yeah,
Monsby kind of slows down to like show that he noticed kept pace with Finnegan.
I was just gonna say that Norks. I can roll a perception. I just feel like just from traveling with Finnegan, seeing him like.
He wouldn't be hiding it, so as long as you're
Yeah,
looking
no,
at
I just mean like seeing him hesitate at all compared to normal when he would be rushing to help somebody. Like
Yeah,
just being very evident from the behavior that she already knows.
Especially from behind him, you watched him like
Yeah.
non-stop running to a stop, and then pick up again. You see him drop his arms. You see him kind of like look around before moving.
Yeah, Norks is just gonna like roll her neck, and is not rushing in any sense of the word towards the town.
That's
yeah,
not.
Hale's gonna do kind of the same thing where she's like checking, make sure everything's, attached, and then she'll head in the direction.
I like how they are slower for two very different reasons.
You guys approach the town. Elroth coming to the nice ambiance. Thank you. Elroth coming to the first kind of row of houses, the smaller shacks on the outskirts of town as he's approaching. You feel heat on your face just from the massive amounts of wildfires seeming to be popping up in this little city. And on either side, yeah, you're flanked by the two, Finnegan and Monspeed, as they kind of finally get to the town and can fully take in their surroundings of just there's corpses on the streets of just commoners, just common people, just where you see like one soldier who had the unfortunate task of trying to protect as many people as he could, but he was cut down. He was outnumbered easy. Couple seconds later, as you glance behind, you see Hale kind of half jogging up, again taking her chance to take in the situation. Corpses, burnt, bloodied. And then Norks is kind of like, last to get there, but she's here with the group now. As you're coming to your first kind of entrance into town where the crossroads are starting and whatnot.
Elroth will cast Thaumaturgy to dim the flames around him
Alright.
to try to find easier in the fray people that need help. It'd probably be easier to distinguish between those who are dead and those who are maybe trapped or under or still in danger.
You cast thaumaturgy and the flames immediately go from like 4 feet high to about 2 feet high, and they kind of dance there. They seem to be fighting to get back up to height, but they're held there by the spell for the moment. As you're back and forth, they were thorough. There's no one here that's still breathing. As you come up to your first crossroads, though, unexpectedly, a group of people run across, left to right in front of you guys. A man is kind of pushing his kids forward as he's limping. You see he's covered in blood. You can't make out wounds because he's soaked. But he's limping, clutching himself as he's pushing his kids, followed by a woman holding a battered shield and a broken spear behind, making sure she's running backwards. They're not
Elroth will
follow.
try to get their attention. Or to like hold his hand out to like try to like get them to stop for a second.
They kind of veer away while looking at you, kind of like they see you and they're like, "Ooh!" Before
the cleric Elroth, why are you running? You're fighting somebody.
she just points at the spear as you see a handful of kobolds coming from the other direction.
The first time since seeing the dragon Mon speak is unusually calm.
It's gonna
Like almost unsettling there. Huh. I'm
all right.
Yeah. He's eerily calm. It's very unsettling.
You are flanked by what seems to be just a commoner family fighting for their very lives, and and these pack of hungry kobolds. Their red scales kind of darkened with soot camouflage, and a mix of war paint and grime, keeping them dark. The
Elroth
spears and
stand.
shields and broken swords kind of clattering against each other as they slow down at the crossroads and look at this new group, armored and weaponized, kind of assessing you guys as you stand there.
Elroth will try to stand between the people running and the kobolds. His back to the people, obviously.
Do you have the... Let me just make sure you guys have permissions. Yeah, okay, you have permissions to move your characters.
So Elroth will try to position himself in between them. His shield on one arm, his warhammer in the other. He'll look at the kobolds and just... Like for the rest of the group, like they've seen him angry, but they've never seen Elroth with this much like indignation.
Righteous indignation, one could say.
Yeah, righteous indignation. He takes like a step forward and he pulls out his necklace of the platinum dragon. And he just stares at the kobolds.
Wait, with what hand is he pulling out this
The
necklace?
shield, because the shield is strapped to his forearm.
Okay.
So his hand is still free, so he pulls it out. The platinum dragon, give you mercy, or I will not.
Alright. Can I get people to roll initiative?
No.
No.
I got 9.
Nice.
13.
That's with a D20, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Add your initiative modifier.
I'm just gonna use my D20.
19.
19.
Finnegan got 16.
And Elroth?
11 for Elrond.
11. Perfect. Let me just... man. I didn't think of doing this a second earlier. My bad.
That's okay.
No worries.
Anna, the next weekend that I don't work is the first weekend we can come to your house.
We should go to the lake instead.
No, we're going to do it on Monday.
Yeah, you're right. We need to talk about what Monday it is, because I will have to book it off.
Yeah, I'll need to make sure.
So I need like 2
We'll
hours.
have to book it off too.
Well, yeah, Cameron is the one who for sure has to book it.
I'm gonna grab some cookies while you
Okay.
skip initiative.
Yeah. Okay, Hannah, you have like 100 snacks. What are you me about?
I don't have
Oh,
cookies.
my fucking. You know how that like tendon in my hand? It's
No.
my shoulder.
I'm actually going to see the chiropractor for the first time in like 5 years in the morning. That's gonna be
There we go.
Ooh.
He's probably gonna give me hell for not coming in for.
Probably. Isn't your knee still bugged up?
It's in between my shoulder blades.
Oh, okay.
It's right here on the there's like a couple knots right here, and then in between the shoulder blades, there's like a pinched nerve or something. I was moving furniture,
Oh,
and so he's gonna get to work on that, and I'm probably gonna.
cry.
I'm not gonna hear the end
Pop
of
it
it.
on the table like a fish.
Probably.
Chiropractic. What? Work. Going to a chiropractor doesn't really work. Like whatever gets done at the chiropractor, my body undoes by the next
That's how they make their money.
day. Well,
True.
yeah, but so instead, I go to a therapist who it costs like easily 3 to 4 times what the chiropractor does, but it stays working.
If-
I need to
If
go
it works.
I need to go so bad.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, when is that done? When can I go? Rick, can you fit me in on that?
Also,
So,
like, my appointment's for 7 in the morning, then I got work at 11. So I'm like, hopefully I'm not too sore after all this.
Yeah.
I
So-
can't drive home after I go to Rick, so Hannah has to drive me back after.
Yeah. Because Rick is in Georgetown, so yeah.
And Megan, after her appointment, reverts to the intelligence of a child.
Literally.
wait, what?
Like, looking after a 4-year-old.
Sometimes I can't keep my eyes open, or sometimes I'm driving and my hands are like, I don't want to hold on to the steering wheel anymore.
What?
And they're like,
What?
no, you have to do that.
Hold on. What do they do to you?
They rewire your nerves.
Yeah, basically.
That's
He works
creepy crazy.
He works with stuff that's like, your nerves. He works with the fascia, so like the connective muscle in your body, to help undo stuff. And yep.
Yeah,
Sometimes he
no.
works on your brain, and that's when I'm like the most dumb.
He just has a gun that shoots microwaves.
Aha, you didn't wear a tinfoil hat today, Megan.
And the crazy
Yeah.
thing is that, like, he'll do his thing, which, like, he taps you on, like, the back of the head and then goes like this down your body, like, with your nerves. And he'll be like, did you fall down the stairs when you were 7 years old? And you're like, I haven't thought about that in years, but yes. And he's like, yeah, I can feel it. And I'm like,
That's gotta count as video.
Here's the thing. The guy that does this is an elder in the Georgetown Hall.
yeah, he used
Really?
to be a pioneer here.
You know, and honestly,
Imagine.
it might be worth that 2.5-hour drive to go see.
No,
For me, anyway.
people will, like, on the far distances.
People travel from all over.
There's 3 of them in Canada that are as qualified as he is to do what they do.
That's
Bethel
insane.
sends a lot of their Bethelites to him for help, like work
Yeah.
on their Bethelites.
A bunch of COs go to Rick too.
Yeah. It's really weird when you're like sitting in the waiting room and like you see people you know walk in and you're like, what?
That's cool.
Yeah,
So-
there's like one in BC, Rick, and then I think another one in Toronto somewhere. And then there's like, I think a couple in the States as well that do the same thing.
So
But he goes to,
anywhere past Quebec is just screwed. They can't.
Yeah.
yeah. No, but I've heard like talked to people. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Windsor. I'm from like Thunder Bay," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here?"
Yo, hearing about this is making my muscles hurt a little more. It's so tempting.
Yeah, no, like honestly, if you don't mind forking out the cash to feel better, it's definitely what you want to do.
I mean,
Yep.
I think forking out the cash for something like that is definitely better than like doing what I normally do and just eat McDonald's.
I mean, same. But
No, I'd rather shoot myself in the head than hand over money to someone else. But it sounds cool, and that's why I get all my problems solved by Tyler because he just punches me in the shoulder.
See,
That
like
kobold
for
rolled a
instance,
20.
Yeah.
like if Cam came out here and he put his like hand on my forehead, I can't move. Like I just like kind of like shut down.
oh yeah,
Or if I'm standing and you put your hand on the top of my head, I pretty much will like just crumple to the floor.
or if you put your hand anywhere near Megan's neck, she like
Oh,
can't
good. Yeah.
breathe.
Let me try to strangle her as a child.
Threw a fire truck at her head.
Yeah, you jerk.
So the leader Kobold, it's kind of a broken sword. It kind of looks at you and the others behind who speak Dragonic, they just recognize that as him growling at you. And he jumps forward and he's going to kind of jab at you with the broken sword hilt. Does a 14 hit?
No.
No. Alright, so it's hail.
What?
Hail.
Will shoot at the one with my long.
Which one are you shooting at?
How tall are these bushes?
They're like a foot tall. They're not in your way
Okay,
at
so
all.
I'll shoot at this one.
Alright.
I rolled a 19.
That hits. Roll damage. What was that?
4.
You watch the bolt. The arrow, not the bolt, sails forward and hits it right through the center of the chest and kind of staggers back and seems to collect itself. It breaks off the arrow inside it, tosses it to the ground, and kind of. This is kind of like it's bleeding, pumping blood out of its wound, but it's still fighting. They seem to be just so tenacious. Finnegan?
Finnegan will look at the people that were running. He'll look at the burning buildings. He'll look at the fire. Remember what happened in his village. Remember how helpless he felt. Then he'll cast Winter's Wail.
Here, that's the. What block is it on, and what's the radius on? Or
I'm casting on this block,
okay.
so it has a 5-foot cube or a 5-foot sphere.
Okay, so those, yeah, those three.
Yeah, so it's a 5-foot sphere. So it hits it hits these three. They have to make wisdom saving throws, and they have to beat a 14.
Um, actually, two succeed. One of them does fail though. Green dice is the back one, and that
The one that
damage.
the one that fails takes 9 or 4 cold damage and 5 psychic damage,
All right,
and the other ones don't take any.
all right. So as
But
the
their movement is half.
movement is half died, as their again the almost hurricane of just ice and sleet and snow kind of forms in the middle of this scorching hot town. It catches all of them by surprise, even the villagers. Before you see one fall on its back and actually explode into pieces from being like cryogenically and dropped. The other two kind of are shivering in the cold, but they kind of bite themselves and just snap themselves out of it before resuming to the fight.
Um,
So which one just died?
Finnegan will bonus action, and he'll look at the injured. Out of the villagers that were running, which one was the most injured?
Definitely the man here.
He's going to.
Papa.
Well, okay, he's going to bonus action healing word because it has a 60-foot range
All right,
on the man. My first spell slot. Aw. 8.
8. He kind of looks around confused as he kind of stands up straighter and kind of pats himself down for exit and entry wounds. He kind of looks back, turns to your group.
Finnegan will look at him. I suggest you keep running. Things will get lots more dangerous here.
He ushers his group of kids closer to you, so he's in easy talking. We're trying to get to the keep in the center of town. It's really the last bastion.
How far away is the keep? Can we see the keep?
Yeah, you can see the keep over because it's built up on a hill.
Yeah, it would be
So-
like a poop.
Yeah, over the houses you can see the top of the keep. It's a not too far away, but like I'm not counting it in feet. It's beyond like
It's like
beyond
a couple
feet range.
blocks.
Yeah. Let's say in terms of blocks, it's about like 6 blocks away.
Finnegan will look at the rest of the group. As I suggest we should finish these kobolds off quickly, so then we can get these people for safety. Maybe pick up some more on the way.
Wants me to just throw some other stuff and goes, you don't need to tell me twice there.
That is very good. I hope you can hear me.
Norks, you're up.
Wants me to take his book and just walks it over his head.
Pillowcase and punch.
It is like a little. Is that like a small stump? A big stump?
That's about a medium-sized stump. It comes up to about your knee.
Did you
And like
NATO?
wide enough to hide behind, or?
The DM.
Yeah, you probably could
What do you
hide.
think I'm asking?
If you got low, yeah, you could hide behind it.
Okay. North just moves behind. I can't get her technically like directly behind
Yeah,
me.
that's
You know what I'm saying.
yeah. Of course, no worries. I know it is grid based.
Um,
I miss my physical maps, man. It's so bad.
and crouching it down. She's going to shoot at this man.
All right.
We have to take the hide action.
Yeah. So hide would be your bonus action.
That's it. 7.
You let a bolt go and it sails past. It's kind of like trying to push an arrow out of its chest, out of its back. The bolt goes past and plugs into one of the pieces of the frozen kobold. Uh, oh, he's dead, so it's not his turn. Uh, oh, Elroth, okay. The icon wasn't highlighted. Elroth's turn.
Alroth will laugh at the failed attempt that the kobold used to hit him before bringing his warhammer down with 2 hands on top of it.
Alright, neutral. We're going to attack roll.
Does a 20 hit?
At 20 hits, yes.
14 plus 6.
Yeah, at 20 hits.
8 damage.
8 damage. You bring it down, it hits him like right in front of the snout, and he spins a couple times as he's going down, just landing on his face, unmoving.
Alroth will just step on him and sink him into the mud.
Yeah, he's as the
He's going to then move to here. And he's going to bonus action for his first spell, cast Shield of Faith on himself.
okay. The kobold above you will come down and he'll try to hit you. He's got a bent up meat cleaver and he's going to kind of go for your legs with a couple tries to take a couple hacks with that.
It's a bent up what?
Meat cleaver. So that's
I read Mewtwo and I'm like, that cannot be correct.
10 doesn't hit, does it? No. So it's going to just... Oh, I'm sorry, actually. It has... Okay, yeah, no, 10 doesn't hit.
Pack Tactics is advantage, right?
Yes, it is. Like how you pick up on all these subtle DM things, I hate it.
The DM to another DM.
Yeah, I guess. Must be.
So Monsby's going to come up around here.
Yep.
He's going to look at that kobold that attacked Alroth. He's going to just dead stare at him, no emotion, no nothing, and say an infernal, die, and launch his Eldritch Blast at him.
Alright. Give me a roll.
Eldritch Blast, puke.
Or to just kind of like laughing off to the side.
19
Because she also
plus...
speaks
True. 19 plus 5, so 24.
24, yeah. Damage.
I'm just gonna roll the damage on because I don't know what it is.
That's perfect.
I was... Nope, they're right here. I was playing with them earlier.
I don't want to know why you were playing with your dice earlier.
I stacked my dice.
Oh, okay.
So that's what?
People got their own thing. I'm not
1d10 plus 3. 13. That's a perfect 10.
13. You cast the flaming bolt towards the kobold as it kind of like as it's like still kind of engaged with Elwaf, it looks over just in time to catch it in its half open mouth. And it actually like just it trips and slides and flies over top of the corpse of one of its comrades, and you see its mouth wide open, smoking as it's lying on its back.
So it's very much dead.
It's super dead.
Right when that happened, a dark aura goes around Mon's feet. And he like takes a deep breath, and then calm, the dark aura goes away. Mon's feet now has 5 temporary hit points.
Oh yeah, you got
Every time Mon's feet kills something,
yeah.
he gets 5 hit points.
That's your fiend. That's your fiend pack, right?
Yeah. That's why I said to Cameron he's using he's using the gifts he got from them against them.
Nice. That is.
How do I add temporary? Oh, okay.
The kobold below you will. It looks up at you, and it's got a what seems to be like a leather sling. It puts a spiked rock into it and twirls it before trying to David and Goliath, which very much with your height difference, it's very reminiscent of trying to slay a giant with a pebble. No longer has pack tactics as his buddies are getting turned into butter. But that's a natural. Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit.
22 does hit. Okay. So that is. It's going to be 7 damage.
Okay.
As it,
Elroth, right?
yeah, I know. As it like scrapes up and doesn't like dig your eye or anything, but nails you in the eye, and if you reeling back, and you can feel your brow start to trickle blood down. Leading us back up to. Oh, he's dead. Hail.
Okay. I'm going to shoot at this one again.
Alright.
And I got a 8 to hit.
I'm sorry. You watch it sail past as the kobold in the line behind it actually has time to see it coming in. Gets out of the way as it lands right beside it. Anything else you want to do?
I think I'm gonna move over here.
Alright. 15?
Finnegan is going to move 35 feet here.
Probably a specific amount of time, but okay. Amount of distance.
That's his max movement.
Oh,
It's 35 feet.
You could say he's gonna move as far as he can go this way.
And he's going to cast Thunderwave.
but is that really in Finnegan's character?
It's a 15-foot cube. So it hits the 4 kobolds.
Okay.
They have to make a Constitution saving throw of 14 or higher. If they fail, they take 2d8 thunder damage and are pushed back 10 feet. On a success, they take half damage.
Alright. So what's the constitution they gotta make?
14.
14. So first, what's half damage? What's the damage? Sorry.
Oh, okay. So the damage that I roll is 14.
14.
So half is 7.
Cast the thunder wave, and his blast of electric magic is spread out through the group. You just blow the little nasty kobolds feet away from you. Their bodies landing in contorted shapes up against as they're still sizzling. That is, what, a 4-party kill? Narcs.
I wonder.
Could have got the fourth one, but Hail was in the range, so I didn't want to damage Hail with
Yeah.
2d8 thunder damage.
Yeah, that would have been scary.
Hale, are you standing up or crouching? Or...
I'm standing up.
Get out the way. What do you think this is?
Move 5 feet to the right. I'm adjacent. You still get advantage on your attack.
Oh yeah. I got a 24.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Sneak it back. I'll
Yeah.
figure your sneak back.
I know.
Okay, just checking. Calm down.
Got 22.
Oh my goodness.
That's enough to kill 3 of them in a row.
No, that doesn't make sense. Why is it telling me 2d10 plus 4 when I press the damage?
Because
Is that what your damage is?
I
On
don't
your
know. All I did was press the button.
if I press a button, then yeah, that is what your damage is.
Oh, because I crit probably.
Oh, yeah, that would do
I
it.
don't know. It doubled the dice. Yeah, I did 2d10 plus 4, but my damage is 20. Because I got it nat 20.
How's it doing? Sorry, how's it doing crits?
I don't know. I rolled a nat 20 plus my 4.
How?
So the way that D&D Beyond is automatically doing is that on crits, it'll automatically just roll 2 dice instead of 1. But are we doing it where we double the dice?
It's double diced, yeah.
So double your first number, Megan, and then add 4.
So
24.
my first number was 24.
Ignore the 8. Double the first one and add 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so sorry about D&D Beyond and us season different. I totally forgot that. It's more of a, I wouldn't say homebrew, but it's more of a smoothed out.
I wonder if that's a setting we can change, because I know Critical Role did the same thing where they double their dice.
Yeah, that's where I got it from, because it just works like 3 times better.
Yeah.
But Elroth, as you're looking down at this who just pegged to the top of your head, it kind of still has its arm up as a bolt goes through the hand, pins it to its skull as it kind of flies off beside you. Dead as hell. You guys are standing.
Extra dead.
Oh, extra dead. You guys are standing amongst a field of dead lizards and humans.
We'll approach Elroth and just hand him one of his 6 potions of healing.
Alright. Oh, that has a potion of healing?
How much does it heal? 2d4 plus 2?
I think so. What type of healing potion is it?
It's just a regular potion of healing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the small one.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
So remove 1. 2d4.
Also, just in terms of in combat, potions are a bonus action in my version.
Instead of action?
Yeah. Again,
Maneuver, like how do you draw it? Or can you just draw it and then is it just a bonus action you use and it's sort of like you took it out and used it? Or
yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Okay.
In a fight, I'm not making you dig through your bags, so I'm going to pretend you got them in handy locations. Again, not the rule I took from Critical Role just because it works so smoothly.
Monspeed's going to turn to the lady farmer with the spear, pitchfork thing. He'll look around her calmly. He's very calm and relaxed now. Nod and go, let's get you to that keep, shall we?
Thank you.
Norks is just going over here to come try and look at her arrows to see if they're.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
You guys can. You both fired 2, right? So Hannah gets. Hale gets 1. Norks gets 1 too. Two a bolt and an arrow weren't recoverable, just because of how lodged in and the one guy broke it off.
Yeah.
She's talking. We've been trying to get to the keep all night.
When did they attack?
Oh no.
They attacked about at sundown.
Is it just kobolds or are there others?
No, it's a mix. There's, I don't know, there's humans, there's elves, there's everyone. It's almost like a giant bandit raid with kobold, with wizards, with everything. The kobolds are mostly on these outer roads here. We tried to find an easier path to get to the keep. I've watched you guys. You are formidable fighters, but there's no way to traverse through town without getting swarmed. Once a fight starts, they'd be on you immediately.
Is there back alleys or more discreet ways to get close to the keep? They have defenses. If we can get close enough, we should be able to get cover from the keep.
Exactly. I'll try to lead you guys through the quieter end of town. 1 second. Sorry. What?
I'm already tired. Stop it.
I'm not tired. It's just like a physical exhaustion, but not like a mental tired. The sun just takes it out of you.
Yeah.
It was also so hot.
It's very hot out
Did you know if you just say the word yawn, Megan will yawn?
Yawn!
there. She did.
Yep. Megan, look at me for a second.
No, you go die.
Megan, look at me for a second.
No, yawning made my nose itchy.
If you itch one part of your body and she sees you, she'll instinctively itch it as well.
This could be fun.
You guys
Yes,
are
it is fun.
Alright, sorry.
No worries.
It was
Okay,
great
they're just being
distraction
mean
in
to
the
me.
meetings.
What else?
Okay, so I'll try to take you through the quieter areas of town.
We could escape the way we came in. There was no conflict, just bodies. It's up to you.
I guess, but I know there's more people alive. And she looks back at her family and she hands the spear and shield back to her husband.
Are you afraid of traveling in a larger group?
Usually, but obviously you guys are different.
You have children. I don't want to put them in danger unnecessarily, but this is a distressing time.
The kids towards the center of the group. Bird tactic.
Fine. I don't know. I I could tell you guys need to get to the keep, but I've been trying to keep my family alive for hours now.
This is what I want you to do. He's gonna take off his amulet of the Platinum Dragon. You're gonna take this amulet, and you're going to leave the way we came in. And you're gonna go to Flan, and you're gonna go to the church. You're gonna give them this amulet. You're gonna tell them that High Cleric Elroth told you to run here. And you're gonna tell them about what happened. I will be back. Do you understand?
Are you sure? The amulet is the Bahamut's cleric's name.
Elroth will look for like the smallest child, and he'll just cautiously approach the child and kneel and put the amulet around the child's neck and then hand it to the mother.
The whole child?
Yeah.
The child.
So there's a little boy about 6 years old, and his face is all red. He's been crying for hours, and he's kind of backs away, but as you put it on, he kind of steadies, and you hand it to his mother. Thank you. And she heads out of town.
Very good. Make sure they get out of the city and then meet back here. We can lose it.
And doing that only takes about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, because you guys are still close to the edge of the city.
Yeah, we're still close.
You're pretty much on the outskirts.
Then again, before they leave, remembers the name. Elroth is a high cleric. It's about 2 hours is out. You will come across a
About
ranch.
4 hours because they're walking.
In about 2 hours, you'll come across a ranch. There's a cart and a goat. You will take it to the temple. It is ours, but we will come and get it back from there later.
All right, thank you.
Do not stop on the roads for anybody or anything.
Of course.
And Elroth or Finnegan will hand the dad his hand axe.
And the man takes it.
And one potion of healing. And 10 gold.
They take your gifts, and Dad picks up one. The second youngest kid, as the eldest boy, about 11 or 12, can move on his own easy enough. They start their trek down the road.
Finnegan will make his way back to the group. As they on their way, I told them to take their cart and goat, or whatever it is, back to the temple once they come across the rancher. It would help in their travels. I think we can always pick it up later. It's not like we need it right now. So, I think we should keep moving.
Towards the keep?
It is the best place to find answers. Then again, we'll turn to Monspeed. I hope you're not the gun killing some kobolds.
Monsby kind of looks at him, but there's still kind of this dark aura around him, the temporary HP. He's kind of looking at him and he goes, I'm never finished. Now, before we get going, temporary HP, that doesn't stack, right? Just making sure it doesn't stack because that would be really broken.
No, I don't.
It's like sniping kobolds.
Yeah, no, it's not a stackable. You can get it back as soon as the temporary HP is gone.
It's gone. Yeah,
But also, out of combat, it's not pretty much in use. It is a combat feature.
Yeah. Like the like when you reduce a hostile creature's 0 HP, you gain 5 temporary HP.
Yeah, so now that you're out of combat, the adrenaline and vitality kind of goes back down to your normal state.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't stack and it doesn't stabilize you if you're down.
Oh yeah,
I know
also
it-
doesn't stabilize you. Yeah.
You just take the highest one that gives you the most temporary hit points, and that's the one you take, but they don't say.
So on the map here, you guys are the red dot on the right side.
One is the keep in the middle.
The keep is in the middle, yes.
There's only the one road leading into the keep, right?
Well, you can go through the main road. You can come like down to this road. You can.
Like here and here
Yeah,
don't go to the.
You
back.
can run
You-
through this field right here.
you could make it
That's a
up.
hill. That's an incline.
That
That's
is
not-
that
Someone
is
has to.
that is it is a steep. It's like a man-made hill almost. It's like a uniform
Yeah.
hill. You could get
What's
your
that
way up
called?
there. Just obviously the road is a nice shallow way up there. You can approach from any angle pretty much there.
Alroth will keep going on the main road, keeping an ear out and an eye out for anybody else that needs assistance or people that look like they are not part of the village or like the raiders.
Monspeed's now they're going. He's going to just keep looking around, like perception, I guess. Doesn't have animal hearing or anything.
No.
You're on the shelf.
I was gonna ask him to roll a
Hello?
perception check, but he just walked away.
I just told you they're on the shelf behind you. I can literally see them from the camera. Down. Thanks.
Do you want to give me a perception check, Tyler?
One second, I just launched my d20.
I know, I heard that.
I'm
Everything's
going
fine.
to take the roll. That was 19 plus 4.
19, alright. You too, Cameron, can I
Did
get
she
a...
wake up or is she still asleep?
Yeah, she did. She's like one leg out, like, huh? Hello?
can I get a perception check from you, Cameron?
Yes.
So, both you two, Mosfeed and is that Elroth or is that Finnegan?
That's Elroth.
Alright, so both,
Finnegan can, he'll also make a perception check.
if you want, but I mean,
That's
it's,
only a 9. So
Yeah.
Elroth, that's the same.
it's two successes already.
Go back to sleep.
So coming down the road, you see off like half a block away, you see a group of what appear to be humanoid, wearing armor, holding weapons, seem to be cleaning up. They seem to be taking what they can from certain houses. There's a kind of like a communal bag that they're all kind of throwing stuff into to get it. There's like a wheelbarrow full of like pots and pans and such like that. And they're just kind of going from house to house, cleaning them out, and then they toss a torch in there.
So they're looters, they're not like soldiers.
They're both.
Or what was that you cut out at the last part there?
They're both. They're looting and soldiers. They're armed and
They're both Cameron.
They're bad guys.
Elroth will cast Thaumaturgy.
alright.
Identify yourselves, thieves. Or face the wrath of the Platinum Dragon.
One sec, I gotta get the map. Let me just one sec. The map wasn't ready just yet.
That's okay.
All good.
See, and these ones aren't as good as the blueberry ones.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I just took a screenshot by accident. Oh man, I'm rushing to get
Wants
this
this
thing.
moment to be immortalized.
Apparently.
Why are you looking at the wall, you weirdo?
Demons.
The logical
The
assumption.
diamond.
The diamond. The logical assumption.
It's the diamonds.
I mean, that's like Lucy's just looking at the wall that's beside her bed, but sometimes she will just be sitting somewhere and then just go,
With the image.
yep.
But I,
That's them demons.
I like it when demons visit me. That means I have friends.
Oh my god.
The demon possessing my body. Man, it's kind of a nightmare in here. Yeah, no kidding. How are all your thoughts and Comic Sans on this?
That's awful. Oh my god.
Oh, my thoughts are in wingdings.
Oh.
That explains quite a bit. You yell, identify yourselves, these, and they drop everything and they turn to you and they whip out their weapons as combat rolls in.
How long has it been?
About like 8 minutes.
Okay. Good to know.
You walk down the road and start another fight. I don't know.
Elroth casted Shield of Faith, but halfway through that combat, so I still have about 5 minutes left on that Shield of.
Perfect. There we go.
Huzzah!
All right. So roll your initiatives, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
You're a rogue!
19.
And
I got a 10! At least clerics are supposed to go later because they're the healers. Still.
17.
Okay.
What's a Finnegan rolling?
12.
12. Okay, so you beat these because I got distracted. Hey, what's yours?
Who got 15 to 20? Who got 15 to 20?
Hale?
Yeah, I'm 18.
18, thank you.
That'd be the map.
Must be got 19. 18 plus 1.
19, perfect.
Math.
You can
Uh,
count cows.
Finnegan got 12.
Finnegan got 12. Elroth got 10.
10.
6
Nork?
plus 5, quick maths.
Hannah, 10.
What's Norx's initiative?
8.
8, okay, thank you.
I want to talk about it.
Alright.
There was an Alroth Cletus moment today when we were getting drinks at McDonald's. It was hilarious.
That's
It was
actually
fantastic.
incredible.
People want this or they want battle music?
It turns out I can't have rhythm on because I can't hear anyone properly when I can hear the music, so.
You can just turn on the music. Or
I
is this
just want
a
party.
text
No,
volume?
it just messes with the. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I like this stuff. It's a spirit.
Oh,
Sorry, there's lots of combat as well.
If it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't want
they're all moving before us, guys. No, they're not. One of them keeps rolling a 20.
Yeah, I'm rolling lots of d20s, the chances do go up.
I don't like that. I think you should cut off the
Crosby
weapon.
has a 19,
True.
and Hale has a 18.
Yep.
I only remember because Hannah had to math for a second.
Must be.
Is Elroth large enough for Norx to hide behind?
This is gonna last
Run over this.
I think we already went over this, and I think it came down to stealth roll. Because it's not really a great hiding spot.
Because halflings can hide behind normal people.
She's
He's not a halfling, but also Elroth isn't.
well.
a
What's
normal person.
the size class on Elroth?
What Cameron's getting at is I can hide behind Cameron, so can Norx hide behind a Minotaur?
Oh, it's up to the DM.
I see that getting abused a lot, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave it to stealth roll. If you roll like a good stealth, you can. If you roll a bad stealth, they can see your legs through his.
Understandable. I like that. That's fine.
I'm
I
not-
wasn't saying that she had to.
No, I know. I don't like saying no to creativity, but I also don't want to get absolutely demolished by you
That's what we have
guys.
to do, Megan. We have to make a booster seat that Elroth carries, like a backpack, that you can sit in, and you just peep up over his shoulder and shoot people with crossbows.
That's amazing.
I literally just become
Get
like
it
a
made,
battle
find a
elephant.
tinkerer.
I literally just get like.
What's
I
you
literally
thinking?
become like a battle elephant.
What you thinking, must be?
So I'm going to. Monkey's going to kind of. Okay, he's not in a bad spot there. But then, like, this guy's gonna be offended by Elroth's present, who's right in front of him. So Monspeed's gonna cast Great Bonfire right on this guy. And everybody around him.
Alright.
In rage.
Quickly learning to not put people together.
So they have to make. So everyone in that circle has to make a dexterity. Have to beat dexterity 13, I think it is.
Next horde we fight, there's
Yeah.
goblins standing 25 feet apart from each other.
Yeah, they're gonna be like dotted with like
Yeah.
high power crossbows.
Why are they using extreme social distancing?
What do they
Like masks.
what do they have to beat?
13.
13. So the goblin beats it and the human beats it, but the two kobolds are affected.
2 kobolds are affected.
I'd like to point out that Elroth just said identify yourselves. One guy walked towards us and then you immediately went creep on fire.
It's 4 damage to both of them.
But I didn't see that it was kobolds, so I was under the assumption that they might have been on our side. They're not on our side.
Did you not see them because you don't know how to use your eyes?
I was not looking at roll 20 at the time.
He doesn't have eyes.
I also didn't describe any kobolds. That was on me.
No, that's fine. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming my group for a lack of conversation.
Modspeed just sees the goblin. Fuck that guy.
We're gonna rip off his arms. Another goblin with a little card of his possessions.
There's a guy that was just already running for his life, runs in the other direction.
Back into the fire.
Yeah, that just one like runs along here, like here, and he
Picture the goblin running out of his burning house to hear that and runs back into the burning house. They're gonna deal with that.
This is preferable.
Everything's fine in here. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Hey, did you drink water when you got home, or are you just drinking Dr. Pepper? Good. I'm watching you.
Sorry, your turn's over. I just froze on. He is going to make a. He's going to make a ranged attack on you.
Rock chucked at him.
Yeah, there's. As you can kind of like. As you're kind of looking at what the kobold is doing in front of you, Monspeed, you see what seems to be a softball-sized chunk of like half a brick is sailing towards you. What's your armor class?
14.
14. And it just sails right over you as hail just kind of ducks under half a brick.
As reaction, Monspeed's eyes turn obsidian black, points his finger out, and hellish rebukes him.
Hellish rebukes. Alright. That's.
So he has to beat dexterity 13.
Dex 13. He does not.
So it's 2d10. It's 2d10 damage.
It's not really great for fighting kobolds. Oh my god.
done, Hannah.
18.
Now I'm sitting here with going bum 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 dum dum.
That's just in my head all the time. Now you know I have so many issues.
I need to use Jacob's iridescent red dice more for damage.
That's why Hannah has her bloody dice for damage. Or as Eric called them, cheesecake dice.
They look like my they look like my Marvel slab order.
Raspberry cheesecake?
Yeah.
I thought there was black in them, but I don't think there is.
Speaking of which, it's your turn if you want to use those.
Hannah should turn up rhythm.
Wait, did that kobold die?
No.
With 18? No? Okay.
Sorry, 18?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 8. My bad.
No.
Yeah, no, it died.
So Monthly gets 5 health back. That's his 5 temporary HP.
18. Oh my god, you guys are gonna get. Oh, I'm throwing harder and harder things at you as these games go
Remember,
on.
we're only level 2, so our spell slots
Yeah.
are very little.
It's true.
Like, I'm looking at this fight, I'm like, yes, vicious mockery, many times. Wait, speaking of vicious mockery, I need my vicious mockery, vicious quote.
Please don't.
what
Most of them are really
happened?
bad.
Internet stopped working. Oh, wait. So that's fun. Okay. Whose turn is it? Is it mine?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to attack this guy with my $18 to hit.
18 hits, yeah.
Oh no. Well, that dice has disappeared.
Gone forever.
So are you going after the right or the left one?
What?
The right or the left?
This one.
Okay. Just making sure.
I think it's hard to tell your circle, Hanny, because it's kind of the color of the grass.
Do I get to pick
A circle that moves.
So,
and then I got a 9. Yeah.
9 damage?
Yeah.
You release an arrow and it sails over Moss' feet. And like just plugs him in the hip and kind of staggers for a second. Kill them! Get back to work.
As soon as the longbow goes through, the little monster just kind of fluffs his hair back. Just
He's like sitting there like that with his hair parted.
he's kind of.
Oh man, it's allergy season. I'm trying not to sneeze all the time.
If you sneeze, will Megan sneeze?
Probably.
no, it doesn't work like that.
Probably.
No.
Probably.
But my nose is itchy now, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Power of suggestion. The power of the lizard.
I have no idea where this dice just went.
That's how it goes. Welcome to D&D.
Oh, it was in the chair. Like,
Yeah,
it,
that's
like,
sorry.
don't even know what happened.
Not Must be. Finnegan?
What was the one that Hannah hit with her?
That was this one here.
This one?
Everybody click
Start
there.
bringing names off.
It's 50 feet away. Finnegan will use Vicious Mockery
Okay.
on him. He has to make a Wisdom save of 14 or higher. Oh no, he has to, 14 or higher.
Okay. He passes.
Well, wait. Bardic Inspiration to Nork.
Thanks.
Rook.
Elroth's turn.
We're on this turn. So I got 5 minutes left on this, which is 6 seconds a turn. So it's 10 turns is a minute, so 50 turns. Okay, so it should last for a bit. Elroth. Will charge 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. Actually, he'll stand here. And he will swing with his warhammer.
Alright, give me an attack roll.
Alright. Natural frickin' 20!
That hits. Roll damage.
26. For a grand total.
Tell it. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Tell us. What did you?
I use my inspiration on a damage roll.
That bad?
Um.
Roll a 1!
Oh my goodness.
And it's doubled!
I don't know. Can you
An
use them?
inspiration point used on any roll.
No. I think that's skill checks. Let me. Don't cry yet. Let me check.
No, you can spend an inspiration point to give you advantage on a roll. Hate my life.
Third time.
That's
This
amazing.
isn't 1 damage minus
That
1. It's plus 4, so it's 6 damage.
Still. 3 times you roll.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
I
That's
get it. Oh, I get it.
that's cool. I've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I haven't seen that before like that. You bring the hammer up and it knocks
It
him.
clips the ground.
Oh yeah. You lose all your momentum as it like digs through the dirt coming up at him. And it knocks him back and it hurt, but kind of shrugs it off and
You better run, because I won't miss next time.
ooh. Kind of just gets his sword into position in front of you. Now I'm seeing. I'm gonna move down here.
Nope. This is not going the way I planned.
It is not. As you feel you know what? Just give me another 5.
What'd you roll?
60?
20.
Not figured. You see like a pewter cup fly past you as the kobold's kind of digging through its own personal bag of trash.
Just chucking it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sling gets boring after a while. The same stats as a sling, but I'm just
It's just
bumping him
trash.
around.
If I died with a freaking kobold throwing trash at me,
Hey, would that be unfitting, Mr. Rolling Critical
don't make
Ones?
me bring up my lucky Star Barbarian. Don't make me do it.
Oh man.
Was this even
No.
trash out as bludgeoning?
Yeah, it's ranged bludgeoning.
I'm gonna throw this rusty spork at you. You're not poisoned.
Hope you got your shots.
My mother was an anti-vaxxer. Oh.
Norks, you're up.
Oh my god. Help!
Who shot you? I wasn't paying attention.
No, nobody shot me. Just
I
shit.
mean, you
Stop
threw
running.
something at me. Me? You. I'm tired. Leave me alone. I guess I will shoot at this man.
Alright.
I got a 22.
22, that hits.
What the heck? I got the 1. That's a 5 damage.
5 damage.
Over all the ones on our damage.
Hey, at least it wasn't a doubled one.
Shut up! I will have my vengeance. I will have my vengeance.
Your shot goes up and it nails him in the shoulder opposite to where there's an arrow sticking out. It's like, oh. Goblin, grab more. What else? Do you want to do anything more in your turn?
Run and hide. Run and hide somewhere.
Behind what? Pray
There's
tell.
fucking rocks. What are you talking about behind what?
Ah, great.
Is this a rock wall or are those just rocks?
It's half.
Hey,
It's
you're a rogue. It's night. It's dark. Hide somewhere.
it's pretty easy for you to hide.
Shut up!
She just
You're
cuts herself
standing in
under
the middle of a
Musty's cloak.
street shooting a crossbow.
Musty just goes
Sorry, Eric.
behind him.
What did you?
It's not a great hide spot. You could make it work though.
Okay. Well, that's moving the map. No, I want to move me.
You need that sweet sneak attack, damn.
Hey, Cameron. Shut your mouth.
No.
Uh-oh. Goblin, get away.
No.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful time.
Alright, the man in front of you, with the bolt and arrow in his kind of, again, I don't know, he breaks it out of his hip. He's kind of lurching towards you, kicks the body of the kobold as he steps over it, and he takes his.
Making a mistake. Step into me, boy.
With no response, he just makes a multi attack, swinging his sword twice at you.
I love how you did the motion to her.
So that's a 20 and an 11.
The first one hits. The second one didn't.
First one hits.
Wait, does he have to beat or tie the armor class?
What do you guys want? I don't think we've gone over this homebrew yet, so it's up to you.
I don't think we've experienced this yet.
No, it's
20 is my armor class.
yeah, but it'll make hitting easier for you guys. It'll also make getting hit easier. So
I think DM discretion at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever you want. Whatever doesn't matter to us.
okay.
We're just
Oh,
happy
I'd
being
say
here.
if it
Wow.
ties, because that's what they do in Critical Role. Is if it ties the AC, it hits.
Yeah. All right. We'll go with that just because that's easiest. And again, that'll give you your bonuses in the.
Yeah, first one hits, second one doesn't.
All right. 5, 6, 7. That's 7 damage. As the much higher quality blade as the kobolds and whatnot, just iron short sword cuts through. You feel it punch through the chainmail almost, leaving a gash in your stomach. It's his turn. Must beat. And it's your turn.
Monstreet's going to. Oh, that guy almost got. He ran. I was gonna see if I could peg him with Eldritch Blast from afar. I'm gonna cast Bonfire right here.
Alright. Pop that down.
So it's 13. So they have to be an dexterity of 13.
That's just the 3 of them?
Yeah, that'll hit the 3 of them there.
Alright. Beat. Okay, so the kobold being the weaker one, it fails. And does, what, 2d8?
Just 1d8.
1d8, alright, roll your 1d8. Don't
5.
lose him. 5? With the sound of pretty much barbecuing, you watch the other kobold kind of fight off, try to pat itself out before it succumbs and just goes limp, still kind of burning. The other two kind of they ignite, but they pat themselves out, taking very minimal amounts of pain.
Damn fire resistant armor.
Oh, he's dead. Hail.
Okay. I'm gonna move here and attack this one with.
Sure, roll your damage.
Well, that
Why
was
is my
horrible.
eyes
9 to hit.
9.
Yeah.
So no hit.
Yeah.
Again, just misses by like 3 or 4 feet as the man seems to see it. He doesn't dodge it, but he makes sure he's watching you and Elroth at the same time for attacks. This one here, he's going to make an attack with his short sword. 14, 15. Your shield of faith is still up, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so again, short sword gets close, but it doesn't quite pierce your being. No, that doesn't hit either. Finnegan is up.
Oh, okay. Finnegan will cast. Well, Finnegan will move to here and cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Alright, send it.
Wisdom save.
Yep. 12, 13.
Fails. 14.
Fails. Alright.
So he takes 1d4 psychic damage, which is a 4.
Yeah.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack,
Yeah.
his next turn.
That's right. 4. Okay, just making sure I got that. Olaf.
Olaf will turn. Olaf will attempt to strike the one he's tried to strike. Well, he struck last time.
So that's the one on top.
Actually, no, he's going to go for this one. Olaf is going to strike this one. Okay. 19 to hit.
19. That hits.
I got 8 plus 4, 12.
12. Okay. With that hit, he falls back and he lands on his back before he coughs up blood as he's trying to fight to stand up, and he props himself up with his blade, kind of shakingly holding it out towards you. And he's looking beat up after that hit. The first hit didn't hurt too much, but the second hit definitely rattled him to his core.
There might be something. Hammering Horns. Bonus action. Immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can use a bonus action to attempt to shove the target with your horns. It has to make a strength saving throw and beat 14. And if it fails, he gets pushed 10 feet away.
Alright. He fails.
So he's just gonna. Olaf is just gonna flank him backwards, 10 feet into like the bushes, like diagonally.
Here?
10 feet.
Or here?
Here.
Oh, that way. Okay.
No, this one. This one.
Oh, that one. Okay, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, I attacked that one.
And yeah, he hits the back like a grown over stone wall. He just flips and falls behind it, lying prone in the grass. Where is it? One sec. Norks.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, it's your turn.
I'm thinking. I guess I'll shoot it. God damn it, you stupid thing.
Damn.
I guess I'll shoot at this man.
Alright, roll your attack.
It's 16.
16, that hits. Roll damage.
So that's 9. And can I sneaky attack?
You can sneak attack with your plus d6.
And a 4.
Awesome. So yeah, not even knowing you're there, the bolt goes through its neck. It slumps down.
Goodbye.
Just from the bushes, the trees are speaking.
I'm the Lorax, and I speak for the trees.
In Draconic, just goodbye.
What is that? I'm the Lorax, and I speak for the trees. For some reason, they're speaking Vietnamese.
He's just speaking Vietnamese.
1 second, just looking for stuff.
The heck is that thing?
The goblin comes back, and followed by a small party of a few more reinforcements it could find. All four is a giant, draconic, crocodile-like beast crawls forwards, slithering and hissing as it kind of snips and bites at its leader.
And a dude in a cloak. And a
Oh,
cultist.
another one of those guys again?
Mod speed immediately is just like,
Must be like someone's dying tonight.
So let me just add these turns. Oh, good initiative for these guys.
my god.
There's Norks. He's. This one. It's Norks. Moves up there. We're back. Okay. He just gets up, so that's his turn. This one here. He just gets up. And he doesn't move, he just kind of steadies himself, but he is not looking at it, approaching closer to you. Must be.
Just measuring something.
Yeah.
I gotta switch laundry, so that's what I'm doing.
Alright.
Kevin, I'm just throwing these stupid shorts in.
Alright,
I don't know
so
what you're talking about, okay.
so this guy is disadvantaged and down kind of thing.
He just stood up with his turn.
He just stood up.
So
Disadvantage.
Monty was standing up?
Yeah, his turn was standing up, and he didn't attack.
Monspeed's gonna look, Sane Infernal, weak, and cast Bonfire on him.
Oh, okay.
It was either that or Eldritch Blast, man. And he has disadvantage on that roll too.
Yeah, and I don't think you got this, but oh my god, they're both the same. He failed.
I found my metal gate. 7.
7. There we go. Within seconds, the bush and grass and shrubbery where he's standing ignites in flames, just taking him up with him. You see his silhouette kind of crumble into the inferno as it also licks up the corpse of the kobold.
Oh.
So
Barbecue.
Dude,
Just like chicken.
Gonna make some award-winning chili for you though.
I have no idea where my combat tracker went.
I ate it.
There we go. That was you. Just gonna come up to here. Hale, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to attack this one with my longbow. It's a 6. So that's going to be a 12 to hit.
12 to hit.
Yeah.
That does not hit.
Hi, cat.
I'm sorry. The one above you, Eloth, is going to make a multi-attack with the two swords. Failing both immediately.
Isn't the one adjacent to him is the 12?
Pardon?
The one adjacent to him? That's the 12 on the initiative order.
What?
I'm confused. Who's attacking me?
This one. The only one that can attack you.
Um,
The only one in melee range.
He's the 12 on the initiative order, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's 12.
Yeah.
Doesn't Finnegan go before him?
Where's Finnegan? What? Sorry.
Finnegan.
We can quickly check.
They're all 12. So yeah, they're all 12. So my bad.
I'm confused. I don't know.
I'm gonna bump.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm gonna bump his initiative up to 13, so he can. That was entirely me not knowing how to really look at the turn order correctly. Finnegan can go, yes.
I forget. Wait, what was Finnegan's initiative? Let me just,
It was 12.
maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was 12. It was just there was a list of 3 12s, so I just wanted to separate those two.
Okay, so in terms of tied initiative between player and NPC, who goes first?
Um,
Player or NPC?
For the most part, I didn't have to worry about it, but for this, I was just taking higher dex modifier.
My dex modifier is +3.
Yeah, exactly. And theirs isn't. So yeah, I moved you up to.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't.
No, of course. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
I'm just like, wait a second. Wait a minute. Why did it disappear?
Who?
The guy that was adjacent.
What the heck?
Yeah, spotted.
He disappeared. I don't have to fight him no more. Look
Well,
at
I
that.
guess not. Oh, all right. I'll wrap this turn. The guy's just gone.
Man, I don't know how that happened. I didn't even click delete or anything. Who was that? That was a swap. But yeah.
Excuse me. Apologies for my burp. Finnegan will cast Vicious Mockery on him. As he turns to me, he'll say, the only things that you have defeated is high expectations, it looks like. He has to make a DC save of 14 or higher. Wisdom save.
Yeah. He succeeded.
When you got scholars in this bandit group?
Yeah, it's not really a high modifier, it's a high roll.
Yeah, alright. And he's gonna move to...
Alright. Again, nothing to do. Olaf is the 10, right? Make sure I'm still looking at the correct.
Elroth is 10, Finnegan is 12.
Alright, Olaf can go.
Elroth is gonna smack this guy.
Go ahead, give me an attack
He's
roll.
gonna try again.
Yep.
He's gonna try again. Well, I got a 22 to hit. Sorry, 21 to hit, 15 plus.
Hey. No.
Let there be light. God said okay.
Sorry. That was
No worries. 21 to hit.
21 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, boy. Oh, 14.
14. It drops him as you hit with the hammer. There's a crunch as he, again, goes limp in that very familiar way and kind of bloodied.
Alroth looks at the rest of the bandits approaching. You want to know the difference between you and me? He's gonna touch himself and cast, for bonus action, he's gonna cast Healing Word. Difference between you and me. Oh, I healed 9. Hooray!
There we go.
Is that
You gotta open your door, look in, and then close it again.
Yeah.
They wanted to see who he was on the computer
Yeah, just-
with.
Okay. Well,
Bye.
the lock's broken, so the lock just
Your lock is broken?
the lock just spins in a circle when I try to lock it. So it's,
Yes, it was broken. They didn't break it.
oh, they totally did break it.
Yeah, so Alroth will heal 9, and then he just looks at them and like, the difference is, I can do this all day.
There are a couple kind of unsure glances as a few of the men kind of look as you.
So it's
Butcher.
just a mound of bodies
There's
around.
a pile of bodies pretty much in front of Elroth. The only one that doesn't really seem affected is the one currently bounding towards you on all fours, clearing the gap in almost
Oh my god!
seconds.
Oh my god! That
Like-
thing is fast!
It is
What
clearing.
is it?
I don't know! It's like a crocodile!
It's about half the size of a horse, super scaly, and about
I don't
10
like its face. It looks like it has like a weird hob face, and I don't like
It's
it.
like an alligator mixed with a dragon.
yeah, it's about 10 feet long, snarling, and it's gonna make
Or
an attack on you.
Of course it is. Bring it on, bitch.
Wow, alright.
No need to be nasty.
He's gonna roll that 20.
16.
Nope.
Nope.
I
This
just figured
giant.
clap and just Elroth just holds the snout open.
Yeah, it kind of bites at you, but you manage to deflect it just a second.
Oh, that thing is awesome. That's cool. Where did you get that? Send me the picture
Sure, yeah.
because I have ideas.
It's awful. As someone who plays in your other
don't
games,
like
I
that.
yeah, as someone who plays in your other game, I hate that.
Nah, don't like
Don't bring this into our game. I don't want it.
Oh, you should have seen what Eric faced from the dog.
Oh, I hate that.
that was amazing.
You guys think a dude carrying a sack of heads is rough? Boy, you guys got things coming.
And Eric's character ran into Dr. Hart's assistant.
Like immediately. This is like my third session. Yeah.
The crypt of an unknown civilization. Why is she there? Who knows?
Why was he there?
Because he was on the
No one
west.
knows.
I don't know, man. You're
You
not
know
a
what?
cop.
Poor life decisions.
You're not a cop. I don't have to answer that. Anyways. Norix, it's your turn.
I get to do stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of players on the field now.
Who's this man?
That's a
He's
bandit.
been here the whole
Come get us.
time.
He moved there last
He moved there, yeah. What the hell is wrong with... Like, oh, okay, let's make a fight for 5 level 2s. Instead of giving us stuff to give you a challenge, it just sends a lot at you. Generators suck for combat.
It's very much once you figure out what does work and doesn't work, you just homebrew your own fights.
Yeah, this is...
Generators are terrible.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry this is gone off. I want to, like, kind of copy you guys out of it, but I don't want it to feel cheap. I'm bored of looking at
I'm
these.
enjoying it. I get to kill a bunch of stuff.
Alright. Go ahead,
Okay,
Norix.
I try to shoot that man on the far top of the screen.
Alright, make a sneak attack.
Third murder hobo. What do we do?
I got a 23 to hit.
That hits. Roll your damage plus
Is that a
d6.
natural 20?
No,
Oh.
the 19.
Damn.
Oh, so close.
But I got 14 with my regular hit and my sneak attack.
Got that crossbow. I'm so
Is it
glad I gave that
four?
to you. I am
So that's
glad I gave that
18?
to you over
Yeah.
Christopher, who's not even here anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you gave it to Christopher, it'd be gone, right?
Yeah.
You let the crossbow go, and this one, it catches him totally off guard. He's not even facing you as it hits him, and he drops like a sack of potatoes. You have the kind of
Bye.
thud.
Turn from the bush. Bye.
This is from like these bushes. It's
I said
like a
goodbye.
sniper. It's like a friggin' sniper. I just picture her like putting a notch in her crossbow hilt each time she like takes out somebody.
She doesn't care that much. That depends on how many hundreds of gold have I earned. Okay, 1 notch. 2 notch. Excellent.
One gold. Just because they count when she's doing gold.
Oh, I'm not counting that one. I'm rolling the other dice.
I don't know why he's rolling so much.
There's lots of stuff happening in this town, and it sucks as a DM. Okay, I'll attack.
I'd feel a lot better if we were level 3.
Probably.
Get some more spell slots. My spiritual weapon could be bonging these guys.
13.
That's right.
17 hit Elroth?
No.
No.
Straight bonging.
An
Not even normally.
arrow flies past Elroth, sticking into the
Where did
ground.
the arrow come from?
Arrow came from up here.
Oh. Frick.
And takes off here.
Okay, we gotta check.
Goblin brings reinforcements. Goblin immediately runs away.
He's gonna go grab more reinforcements so we don't stop him.
Then Eldritch blast him.
Let me check my notes here. Okay. Can I get a Dex save? Elroth, please.
With +0 modifier? Sure. Hey! Natural 20!
Damn, alright.
For being in heavy armor, he sure is nimble.
Yeah. You feel flames lick up around you, but they dissipate and don't catch on to anything flammable.
I'm assuming this guy.
You think so?
Is that guy similarly dressed to the cultist we saw in the prison?
Robes,
The
it's
Happy Fun House?
not super similar, no. The robes are kind of same style, but
Not like they're wearing like a uniform. It's
yeah,
like,
I don't.
that's
Yeah,
close enough.
yeah. I don't have a zillion pictures for every different robed fighter you're gonna be fighting, and this one's good because he kind of looks angry.
Gotcha.
Must be.
Monkey's gonna kind of glide over here, and he's gonna Eldritch Blast the goblin.
Alright, hit him.
He's had enough of this shit. Eldritch Blast. Natural 20.
Noise.
Roll your crit.
So, wait, what?
A 2d10?
Yeah, 2d10 plus 3.
Oh, this goblin is gonna. This goblin's gonna wish he got his head pulled off.
Don't say. Oh my god. 21 damage as the bolt sails past. So, like it lights up the road as it goes past, and it hits the goblin, exploding into a ball of flames, and you see him like disintegrate inside the flames, pretty much turning into an ash pile.
Monspi's standing close to Merc. He kind of holds his arm and goes, "I've had enough of your shit." And goes back to looking down the road.
Hale?
I'm going to attack the guard dog from hell.
Good word for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, I had to shoot the goblin to stop another one from coming at you.
Are you trying to do math right now?
Yeah. So I got 13 to hit.
Which one, sorry?
The hound thing.
The hound? That hits.
Okay, 13 hits, boys. And girls.
I'm
Down,
not-
everybody. Hey!
Owls.
I swear, I'm not
He
sexist.
or she.
9 damage.
9 damage. The Elrathi watches. An arrow comes from behind you, lodging itself into the shoulder of the beast in front of you, and kind of howls a bit in pain before looking over at
Fail.
Hale.
Thank you.
He's going to move forward, stepping over his friend's dead body. He's going to make an attack.
Marty, can't wait to add you to the ground.
17? Hit?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, that's his turn. Finnegan?
Finnegan will cast Vicious Mockery on the Hound from Hell.
Alright.
Wisdom save.
Yep.
14 or higher.
Failed.
Woohoo! 1d4 psychic damage.
Awesome.
Woohoo! 3.
Nice.
It has disadvantage on its next attack.
Yeah.
And then Finnegan is going to move to here.
Alright. He's dead. He can be removed. Elroth,
Elroth is going to smack the Hound
give it to me.
from Game of Thrones. I will give it to you because that's a natural 20.
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't roll a 1.
Please, just roll well.
Eric's already done with this encounter.
They're really not hard. Don't.
What's a D10? It's a D10! Why am I rolling a 2?
Did you seriously just roll a 2?
It's a 4 plus 4 is 8.
Not awful.
Not
Okay,
bad, but
your
it could have been
D20
24.
Your D20s are null and void now. Just go take
No, my
them for
D20s
now.
are fine. It's my D10. It's my D10 that's total ass.
Your
I'll be
damage
back.
is null and void.
Get new D10s. You hit it upside the face and you hear a crunch as it's kind of like. Sorry, I actually might not. You hear a crunch as the kind of eye socket area gets dented in. The broad face shape of the dragonoid features now very unparalleled.
Bonus action hammering horns.
Hammering horns? Give it to me.
Strength check.
Yeah. 13?
No.
No.
It gets flung 10 feet away from me. Elroth just scoops it up with his horns and chucks it back.
Wait, how far is 10 feet?
2 squares.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking for
Oh, for that thing.
for the double length, make sure I was counting it correctly.
Right. Step. Get it. There's the guy beside him. Already up there.
Is Norks there?
Megan,
Huh?
your turn. camera pointed at?
The ceiling.
Okay.
What's
was
your
like, I
point?
don't remember seeing that in my house. Now I remember the deal. I'm like,
Where
you
did
entered.
Elroth go?
Elroth is standing in the middle. What do you mean, where'd he go? He's still there. Right here.
Do I need eyes?
Yes.
No, there's someone who's not. Am I?
I pushed the
retarded?
dragon back.
Yeah.
Inigan is here. Hale is here. Monspeed is here. And you're in the trees speaking like a Viet Cong. Wait.
Where's Elroth? I don't have Elroth on my screen. Oh, there.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I was like, huh? Like, you're like, he's right here, and I'm looking, and I'm like, it is he though?
He was on my screen.
She was on mine as well.
No, he was like underneath someone for me.
Oh.
Well, maybe the dragon?
No, there's
I
a
don't know.
person.
It was a man.
I
Oh,
don't know.
because the man that had disappeared probably came back on our screens.
Hmm.
So does that man exist, or is he
No,
dead?
that man is dead.
Okay.
This one exists. And then the two in the back exist. And then the big beast from hell exists.
All right, I guess
I'm
I'll
thinking
shoot
if you
this.
shoot this guy, you get advantage. Because I'm adjacent to him.
I'm already hiding.
Yes, you get sneak attack and advantage.
Oh.
Because I'm adjacent.
Okay, I will shoot at this man. Wow.
Come on, natural 20.
I got an 18.
18, that hits.
And a 10. Oh, sorry, a 14. And then my sneak attack. I can't see what that says yet. It was a 1. So 15 total.
15.
Yeah.
With that, it hits him in the back, and he kind of stumbles and falls onto Elroth as he goes down to the ground.
I feel that way. You're right to same sides now. He also sort of stamps him into the mud.
Hey, Norks, does a 14 hit?
Ha! No!
Awesome. Okay.
I got very concerned because I'm like, I know it's in like the mid-teens.
Yeah.
You're all laughing about a cleric that was a tank, but nobody's laughing now.
Clerics and I can be extremely tanky.
But wait till it becomes a paladin and takes the paladin feat. I want to get like 300 hit points on this guy.
You know what? He's not doing that. Yeah, he's not doing that. He's not extending combat as much as he possibly can.
Eric's slightly having a mental breakdown on his side of the field.
Oh my god, there's so much. This has gone on 45 more minutes than I was supposed to. I'm upset.
Combat always slows it
I
down.
know.
That's why whenever I'm not prepared for a session, I just throw big combats out. Because I'm like, there, that'll kill time.
Yeah, that doesn't
Think
even
of
work.
something.
Yeah, it's not even.
I mean, sometimes you can, and you can't get around it. You need combat, too.
Of course, and this
Hannah
is.
likes killing things, I found out very quickly. He's also very good at it.
Could I get another dexterity check from you there, Elroth?
Yes, I can. How's it 18?
18 works, I think, yeah. Damn.
Is it like the same fire effect coming from the cultist?
Yeah, same attempted flame. Must be.
Ruff would just look at him. I think you should run before I find you. Get close to you and end you.
Oh, damn. Must beat you up.
Monty's gonna look at the cultist as the cultist is looking at Elroth. Phew, Elder Blast.
The trees! They're speaking for the trees.
So again, he does like the whole hands to the side thing, and 21.
21, that hits.
That's 1d10 plus 3. So that's 12.
12, the eldritch blast flies forward and it seems to burn a hole, not just into its chest, but through its chest, as the cultist's coat goes up in flames, and you can see, like, a golf ball, not a softball-sized hole in its chest. As it kind of stumbles for a couple seconds, the dagger falls to the ground, and the cultist falls to the ground a couple seconds later.
Monty folds his arms again and goes, "That's the one I wanted. You guys have fun."
At seeing the cultist hit the ground, the beast disengages from combat. Oh, no, wait. Can I not do that? No, I can't. That just makes him longer. Yeah, that just makes him longer. I was trying to flip.
This is even my final form, fools.
Haha, man, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. And he retreats.
So now we have this one poor bandit person standing up by the building.
Actually, at seeing this going on, he tosses his stuff down, and he pretty much sits down, being cornered off into an alcove of a building like that. He just tosses the bow on the ground, and he's like,
Alroth will walk up to him.
Most people kind
Slowly, Warhammer Snowdrop.
yeah.
He kind of glides up, standing kind of behind Alroth, and goes, "Finally, someone with some sense."
Here you go, man.
Why did you attack the city?
Mercenary work. It's what we do.
You cause destruction on this scale? Is that what you do? You burn and murder and expect me to let you live?
Monty kind of puts his hand on his shoulder. He surrendered.
He surrendered, but I'm not through with him yet.
We just go and we get bags of valuables. It's the freaky little monster things that are killing everybody.
Who hired you?
I don't know. I'm not my boss, man. I'm just told to go here and listen
Who's
to
your
them.
boss, man?
Night Hill.
What was that? Sorry?
Night Hill.
Nighttail?
Leader of the mercenary band I'm with. Greenhorn.
Greenhorn Mercenaries?
Yeah.
Have I heard of that name before?
You haven't.
Where could I find your boss, man, to have a little talk?
If you really want to know, he's in Waterdeep. We just get our orders through message.
Boss man is in Waterdeep?
Waterdeep. And you know that's along the Sword Coast, which is about 4 months.
Along the which coast, sorry?
The Sword Coast. It's
Sword Coast.
Waterdeep is a very famous location.
yeah, it's one of the biggest cities along the coast, which is about what would that be, like an 8-week journey to the west?
Yeah, at least.
At least. It's across the
Don't
continent.
stop for anything.
Yeah, it's across the continent. It's like a.
How many young men are still in the city?
Oh, if you going through people like that, probably not as many as started. Probably lost a lot.
What do you
50?
get out of raiding a city when kobolds are trying to burn it to the ground?
We'll get pay. Whoever pays Night Hill pays us. It's how I feed myself. I don't expect a
You won't
cleric.
be feeding yourself any longer, and Alroth will slam his hammer into him.
He doesn't even get a chance to react before he splattered over the back of the house behind him.
Alroth is lawful good, and they attack the sister city of Flam like this.
Yeah, no, of course, no, I'm not buying that.
They are honestly tried jury executioner dead. I'm sorry, Tyler. Alroth will shake the guts off his warhammer before turning to Monspeed.
Do you want to respect that cultist?
Monspeed just kind of looking at it and goes. He sighs and kind of turns around and goes, "Dang,
What? What was that for?
He surrendered. I thought we were more civilized than that."
I am a paladin of the Platinum Dragon.
You are not.
You were
All this land.
You're not about it.
You're a Bible thumper. You're a Bible thumper. You're not a crusader.
Cleric.
Really sour.
I uphold dignity. These people destroyed this city. Ransacking homes. Going through the lives that were dead.
Speaking of which,
You found
the loot bag is still in the middle of the road.
Alroth will pick it up, but he won't go through it just yet.
Alright.
He'll
It's
keep his
a
vision
big
on
one.
Monspeed.
It's a big old sack.
He'll pick it up.
Same.
He just swung it over his shoulder.
if you came home. Found your neighborhood burning. Found the ones doing it. Would you act differently?
At that moment, Monspeed kind of swung around and floated up to eye with Alroth. And he's sitting there and he goes, "I did. Why do you think I got into this mess in the first place?" He goes back down and looks down at the cultist.
Yet you still search for revenge.
He's sitting there only on the what I want. He's like going through the cultist roads.
Right.
North in the bushes like, dude!
That one, pointing to the remains.
Was the one I wanted.
I unplugged my headphones. I'm sorry. What was that?
You remember that family that lost everything?
Monspeed goes, "Yeah, they joined a club that I seem to be the president of." And he's going through the.
The cultist, like, not just has nothing on him, it's odd how little he has on him. It's clothing and a dagger.
Monspeed's gonna pocket his dagger. Just
Sure. It's one of those kind of
Yeah, I want to go and steal everything.
Monspeed takes the cloak off the cultist and tosses it at Nork's ear.
It's burnt as hell.
Yeah, but there's like 5 or 10. How many? Like, there's like 5 other people that were.
Yeah, there's
down.
corpses.
One cultist.
Yeah.
I'd go through the down people as well.
Yeah.
When Monspeed floated up to Elra, he kind of expanded the cape out to make himself look a little bigger.
Of course. Hale and Nork's investigation checks for looting, and you guys recovered about 2 hours.
I really need to start paying attention to how many I shoot.
Yeah.
How many crossbow bolts do you have?
Before I subtract some,
Yeah.
19.
19. So how many do you have, like, without giving any away? Like, without using any? Like, just, how much do you have?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have 19
Okay.
minus however many I shot, which was 1, 2.
Because Monspeed has crossbow bolts. you
3?
haven't used yet.
Didn't you already
Yeah,
give them
I
over?
Monspeed
Yeah,
has
he
a
gave me
crossbow.
5.
I gave her, like, 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Hannah.
Literally, it just kicked me straight off. It just closed, and I was like,
Well, no, you're still in the voice
I got
chat.
a 17!
I didn't. Yeah, you just yelled at me.
I got a 12.
I got a 17.
Alright, so you find. There's weapons if you want. There's spears, short swords on the ground. You find about 3 or 4 gold between the humans. Nothing valuable on the cultists or This is each. You both get about 3 or 4 gold off of your searches. Weapons if you want. Beside that, there's really not much trinket-wise. They don't seem to be carrying a lot.
How many arrows did we get, sir?
You guys got 2 back.
How many did you shoot, Ian?
3, I think.
The one was burnt in when the guy pretty much dissolved in Mosbeat's bonfire. That body's just unsearchable. It's like a chard.
Yeah.
You're standing at the crossroads. It's almost dead silent as the night seems to be going on longer. There seems to be less fighting sounds.
Mosby looks up at Alroth and goes, I apologize for my outburst earlier, Alroth. It wasn't directed at you. Everything about this, memories of centuries ago,
We come
none of
from
us is right.
different worlds, but I have to uphold the laws of my land. If we let him live, he couldn't take up with us, and no possibility of him rejoining with others in another part of the city or continuing his ways of murder, looting, and
I'll get real cool about that if you promise to get real cool about something with me.
Everybody better get real cool with a lot of stuff real fast.
You seem to be very quite talented in the arcane. I appreciate your assistance.
Mosby kind of chuckles and goes, well, let's just say I first served on the other side of this. I served on the other side of this whole chaos.
Subtle.
Don't understand.
Mosby goes, there's many things you can't understand.
That is probably true. I'm not the smartest one.
Count the cows. Count the cows.
Mosby looks up at you. Mosby goes up and you just get like 10 fingers. It's like,
I got it. Right, remove it out! Out of this here! Damn cow kicks a bill.
My cat! Mimsy!
It's always just a shot of the butthole. It's always what cats do on video game. Oh my god. It's like they know.
when you're trying to...
Excuse me.
The fort or the bastion.
The keep, yeah.
When
How
I'm
are
in
you?
a video chat and the cat says going to start an OnlyFans.
Yep. Hi, man.
You're so cute. I love you.
You know,
Did you just shoot the cat?
look at the fur. That'd make an incredible hat.
She's not very big. You wouldn't
I
get
got
a very big
I got a
hat.
small hat. I got a small hat.
Remember, Eric, you only live 2 hours away. I can't find you.
And I will.
I know people in London that know you.
Exactly. But
I can find you very quickly.
I don't have like extra space carved out of my doorway, so you're gonna have a son of a bitch getting into my house.
A Molotov cocktail. I just need to know which window you have.
This house Christopher. Apparently Christopher looks in his window all the time.
Apparently. Elroth
You know,
will
that's
start-
not too weird for Christopher.
It's really not.
That's the weird thing, is that it's not weird. Elroth will just keep moving towards the bastion.
Mosby's going to walk beside him. Well, I'll make a perception check.
Elroth as well is keeping on the lookout. Perception.
16.
Oh, 9.
Mosbeat sees some knights clad in silver and green. Well, not silver, but like steel color and green, kind of herding groups of people up the hill. They see you and they kind of assess you for a second before waving you towards them.
Elroth will approach the knights.
Are you combatants?
Well, we're from Blood. We were investigating a group of kobolds stealing livestock. We saw a dragon in the sky and it led us here.
You should probably talk to the governor.
Right. Has messengers been sent out about the attack?
Messages have, but again, it takes long for troops to mobilize this far.
Understandable. What is the status of the keep?
The keep is in. He kind of, while talking, he's looking around, making sure no one's going up. The keep is probably the only thing left standing in town. They are slowly surrounding it, though. The entire back area is filled with an army. This road is the only part we've been able to keep open, but we are losing it. We are getting these people inside, and we are hunkering down.
Right. And the governor is inside.
The governor is inside, yes.
Right. I would like to speak with him.
Of course. You're a cleric, aren't you?
Our cleric, Elro.
Did you hear what happened to the temple? Did you pass by it?
Not on the way, no.
I'll let the governor fill you in. And he kind of like goes back to directing foot traffic.
We did rescue some villagers that are heading to Flat. They will notify them as soon as they arrive.
At least they're probably safer than us. The entire south end of the city's engulfed. It's swarming.
Do you have any numbers or estimations of the force?
That's the worst part. It seems unending. There seems to be different armies approaching. There's dragonborn forces. There's bandits and mercenaries attacking with them. Seems to be a lot of magic users. There's kobolds, there's goblins. Pretty much every dark devil and monster around has dug its way out of hell to attack our town. I don't know
Sounds
why.
like a fun time.
It,
Keep carrying the people inside.
of
We
course,
have to make sure there's keepholes.
of course.
We'll get to the governor immediately. Thank you, soldier.
Stay safe.
And now Roth will turn and beckon to the others. Finnegan is staying like in the middle of the group, as far away as possible from the flames as we all travel.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as you pretty much clear the houses going up the hill, the flames, there's pretty much not much left to catch on fire, so the flames die down. As like standing torches marking the way they put up. But it's pretty much a quiet walk. You hear people in front of you and behind you crying. There's no whispering, there's no talking, it's just crying. As they kind of shuffle and limp and make their way up the hill. The guards are taking names at the front gate. Just very quickly, seems to be two literate guards. Just name, I'm going to scribble it down. Name, I'm going to scribble it down. You approach a name.
Elroth. Dragonhorn. Cleric. Blonde. We're here to see the governor.
Of course, all of you.
He points to the group.
I'll let them introduce themselves and us.
And you just, you know what, if you're here to see the governor, don't worry about that, just get in. He's in the war room, and he points to the main tower of the keep, and there's stairs up to it, and the lights are on. It's pretty much the only room in there.
With soldiers like you guarding these gates, this keep will never fall.
Thank you, sir. Needed that.
Let's get to the war room.
As soon as you enter, it's pretty much,
This
Pretty
is
much.
Helm's Deep.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's people, like, shoulder to shoulder, covered in dirt, blood, and crap. It's just, it's a really bad sight as It's hard to get through. Guards are trying to. There's like 1 or 2 guards per like 15 people, and they're trying to like keep everything orderly, kind of pushing to make as much space as possible as you walk in.
Must be mutters in Draconic. Mutters in Draconic, just like 4 centuries ago.
There's lots of party members that speak Draconic. In
Not standing there going, centuries.
The two
Like,
of you.
yeah, like in her head going like,
Mosby kind of goes, yes, math is difficult.
you
He
hear
just kind of looks over his shoulder, gives Halen Snort's a little smirk.
you hear these.
Things be fighting words.
How dare you smile at me, you rat
As you push in, kind of the last wave of people do make their way in. Arrows fly at and hit the sides of the keep, forcing them to close the gates and shut the keep. As pretty much you made within the minute of you getting in there, the surrounding forces have pushed in and are pretty much at the base of the hill. You hear the ballistas up top along the walls constantly firing. Doesn't seem to be really more weaponized than that.
Does Flan have like is it just the Black Fist Guards, or does Flan have like its own like regiment?
Flan does have its regiment, but it's not a military, so they do use the Black Fist as militia police force. Just because
you
it's,
listen to Eric when he explains things.
I do think I've
I
said
know.
this.
I was just wondering because it's like because they might have had like the Black Fist like out in like the slums, but like inside in the internal section, the wall section.
They
like,
do have actual guards. Black Fists have pretty much just whatever armor they have. Usually it's a uniform, but it's not like anything special. Whereas the Knights of Flan, they do have like a nice shiny silver closed face helmet with red garments. You've seen them enough before, but they protect the more wealthy people. The slums are whoever they get.
Yeah. Are we able to spot out the governor easily? I feel like it's like going to be a packed area.
He is in the war room, so he's in the tower.
Okay. So we're just like this courtyard then.
Yeah. When you're just inside the gate now, you can definitely tell it's just a small fort. Maybe hard to tell, but it looks like a dragon run fort. Definitely older than the rest of the town. It looks like it was built for dragons, but they just don't have the armaments physically there to. It's held up. It's just hard to fight back. But yeah, the lights on in the tower where the guards directed you.
Or else we'll just head in that direction, I guess. Information, I feel, is the most valuable thing that we need at the moment.
I have to
I
put
don't know, maybe we get a short rest out of this.
That's nice for you.
Pulling up to the war room, the doors open. There seems to be about 4 people in there. There's a ginger dwarf, green armor, warhammer shield. He seems to be yelling at. His accent's thick, and he's yelling back and forth. Not yelling, but like aggressively talking back and forth with older man, green
So yelling
robes.
for a normal person, but not for a dwarf.
Yeah, yeah. He's speaking clearly for a dwarf, but for everyone else, it's like Yorkshire hogwash.
He's talking to an older man, salt and peppering, balding hair. He's wearing a long green robe. The other two people is um, a blonde elven woman sitting there trying to read through a couple books as she's looking over what seems to be broken pieces of something. And a priest of the Platinum Dragon is sitting against the wall, holding his uh, medallion. It's smaller than yours was, but he's holding it in his crown. But absolutely no one seems to notice you walking.
Nobody seems to notice the giant ass minotaur.
Well,
All right.
Do not cast thaumaturgy.
They,
guys
they're,
are
I mean, they are extremely busy.
yeah, that's they're just
Elroth
more
would
stressed out
approach
than they've
the
ever
dwarf
been.
and the old man.
The dwarf seems to be kind of getting defeated in his arguments, and he's kind of, oh, whatever. And he just kind of quiets down as you approach, and the older man goes, "Have you come to bring aid or good news?"
I don't really know how to answer that question. We stumbled across kobolds that were stealing livestock outside the flat, and they led us to this. We took care of a bunch of babbits and tugs and kobolds along the way. The soldier said to speak to you about the situation at hand. How dire is it?
Follow me. And he just takes a couple of steps towards this. Like it's like a window, but it's covered in wood, obviously. And he lifts up the shutter, and you just see the streets are filled with people, filled with bodies and people kind of like cleaning up the last bits as they come in like almost swarms to come up to the base of the hill. Estimated about 200 on this side.
Have you sent messengers out for aid?
We have
Any word from them?
Flan is sending its detachment. Uh, Mostly militia, but good portion of knights. The dragon has let up attacking for the time being, so we have some time to think. Sending out messages. Not many cities are within helping distance from us, so we've mostly had to do by our own.
And how did these forces gather so quickly and fight against you? You know?
We noticed patrols weren't coming back from outside of the city before we could even investigate it. There were legions outside setting up their camp. They blocked us in. The dragon came and sunk the boats we had in the harbor. And that was our first look at a real dragon. Sundown they charged. We were completely caught off guard.
What's your estimate of casualties?
Probably half the population or more. I want to believe that there are a good amount hiding in their homes or that got out of the city, but all I know for sure is what's in this keep here.
How secure is this keep against the forces outside?
Pretty secure. They do not seem to be the armed for a siege. They seem
looters and raiders, but with more of a drive, more of a tenacity to attack a city rather than a small hamlet.
Unfortunately, that seems to be an off-favor then. They won't stick around after they've finished their looting. What were you discussing in terms of your next steps?
Escobar, my weapon master, he wishes to roll gunpowder barrels down the hill and detonate them with the ballistas, which, in opposed to just ballista fire, it is the best method, but we don't have enough barrels of gunpowder to make it worth it. We've been burning through ballista bolts all night. I want to keep the people safe above all, if we can get them to leave.
We should probably conserve the ballista ammo for the dragon if it returns.
Another thing I have tried to tell Escobar. The dwarf in the corner is like, I guess.
The walls are strong, and you said that they're not prepared for a siege, so there is no immediate threat to the innards of this keep.
Not at the moment, no.
And let's be honest, the city outside is lost, gone down.
Yes.
Now, what is your current stockpile of provisions?
This many people, we might last a couple days.
Fortunately, by that time, Lamb's regiment will arrive.
Hopefully, and they'll be prepared for a fight.
I doubt these looters will stay around.
It's awful, but I hope they just get what they came for and leave. Melvaunt will take years to rebuild, so there will be a lot of refugees heading to Fran.
When we were entering the keep, the soldiers said that you can inform me of what happened with the temple here.
The Temple of Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon.
Cleric of the Platinum Dragon.
The dragon attacked 2 spots. The harbor, stopping us from simply sailing out and towards Fran or across the sea, and the temple of the Platinum Dragon. I watched it from here, and again, with the window, you see up on a slight another hill, kind of, you can tell it where it used to be from the lack of buildings around it, and it's crumbled white stone.
Does the Platinum Dragon have any enemies? It's like the gods, right? They some hate each other.
Yeah, so the chromatic dragon gods, so the chromatic is red, green, blue, black, white. They're usually considered bad. Metallic dragons, platinum, silver, gold, bronze, they're usually considered the good aligned dragons. Obviously exceptions, but in godhood, it is pretty much, Tiamat, Garrix, betrayer gods like Lolth. They also are on the. They're not dragon gods, but in the pantheon, they do cause issues for.
Were
The.
you able to get a look at the color of the dragon as it attacks?
We did. It was a blue dragon, and it was large enough that our
scholar says it was an ancient blue dragon.
Oh. How long has it been since we last saw the dragon?
About 30 minutes. It hasn't been attacking constantly, but it's been like making rounds, just making its presence known. It seems to be a high intimidation and fear factor. Because
Roth will
again,
turn to the dwarf.
Make sure you tell your men on the ballistas to only fire on the dragon if it comes in for an attack. We must save ammunition in case this lasts longer than expected.
he kind of nods. Yeah, of course. Turns around, heads out, and you hear him kind of yelling in his. Oi! Quit the ballistas for now!
But if I may, is there any way out of the keep that does not involve leaving through the gates?
There is, but it leads out to pretty much the river, which is where we see a lot of the camp, the new camp being set up on the water supply. Leading out the secret passage would probably get more attention. We're lucky that they haven't came this way up into the keep.
They might not know it exists. Do you have men stationed at the entrance?
We have men just inside the passway. They are prepared to collapse it if it seems there is an attack coming through.
How many gunpowder barrels do you currently have?
We have about 20.
If one contingency, a small group, made their way through this tunnel with some powder barrels, they could destroy the camps. You take out their support and their resources. They are no longer willing to stay, most likely.
Possibly, but it is not a main priority of mine right now.
Lifting the siege on your city should be.
It is, but I don't believe that will get them to leave.
What do you think will?
I think they just want our stuff. I think they want our gold.
What speed? Why don't you tell them about the individual that you saw?
Once we kind of go to the cultist.
Cool.
Did he seem to have loot on him?
No. All he had was this, and he takes out the dagger, kind of flips it, and catches it, puts it back in his cloak.
Excuse me. Excuse me. The blonde elvish woman, she looks up and you see scars running from the sides of her mouth up over her eyes. And she's. Pardon me if I may. I was a little. If I may, I was kind of lost. Did you say cultists? You saw more cultists?
Must-be chased him like, well, it's not one. Put him in the ground.
Was
This
it
is our first interaction with them.
Must-be
Was
kind of
it,
nods toward
like-
Laura.
cannibalistic death god cultists? Was it dragon cult? Dragon cultist. So it wasn't an off chance. And she kind of slides what she's been looking at kind of towards you over the table.
Must-be kind of goes forward and grabs it, and then takes out his book to compare notes.
Holding in your hands is a almost like a masquerade mask with 3 horns on each side going back across the face. Comes to a sharp point at the nose, and the eyes are like slanted to seem menacing. You recognize it as Dragon Cultist Mask.
We hoped it was a one-off, maybe an outlier, but if there's more cultists running around, it could prove the possibility of a link between how they got the dragon on their side.
Honestly, kind of closes book. When I killed the cultist, his draconic lizard pet, the draconic lizard pet, turned and disengaged combat as soon as the cultist was dead.
Yes, they probably the pets. Yes, that's what you're talking about. Yes,
Before like a freaky alligator fight.
the drakes. Yes, they seem to only listen to the cultists then, not anyone else. They might solely be introduced as part of the cult forces. Perhaps the kobolds are related, or maybe they're just wired up by the thought of
You have
remote.
the dragon. You have dragon cultists, and you have dragon folk. And you're asking if there's a relation.
Dragons.
Well, I didn't want to jump the gun. I didn't want to assume anything.
Oh, Governor. Does that change your plan on the possible plan of action? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ty.
Monsby opens his book and slides the book towards the elf, and it shows the markings he transcribed from the cultist in the cell, that draconic cultist, because it's not the first one we've encountered either.
Oh, give me a second, all right? As she pulls away from the table, you realize she's actually in a wheelchair. As she pushes herself out and towards some of the bookshelves on the wall. She's kind of reading through them, kind of looking for a couple minutes. She grabs one, puts it in her lap, and she wheels back. You haven't really seen these devices before. It's a unique tool set that she's got. She puts it down. She seems to be reading both books at once, almost trying to describe them at the same time. Give me a minute, will you, please?
Monsby nods and just kind of leans on the table near her.
The dwarf comes back into the room, talks to the governor, confirms that ballistas have stopped. And you hear the sounds through the windows. They seem to damper as, with the ballistas stopping, the crowds outside seem to de-agitate as it's more relaxed now. It's kind of like the eye of the storm type feeling of the combatants outside are just standing there pretty much.
Monsby kind of sighs and goes, "Violence and peace." And as he's doing that, Monsby's kind of examining the mask.
Yeah. On the inside of the mask, there's hooked thorns all along the brim. No other way to put the mask on.
Oh,
Does Monsby recognize this from this past kind of thing?
He does. It is a very signature look for dragon cultist, like the one you saw in the prison. He wasn't high ranking enough to even have a uniform, so he just wore pretty much whatever he had. Higher ranking, black armor, purple robes, and that mask. Even higher, purple robes, um, gilded with gold, gold armor,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like it gets more extravagant from there, pretty much.
Yeah. Can Monsby determine like which rank this came from?
It would be about like a foot soldier, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
It is a common mask, but again, the higher ups don't wear masks. Only pretty much the main force wears masks. Main cultists.
Monsby kind of looks at it and looks up at Elroth and goes, kind of holds it from the bottom and uses it as an example. He's like, this is a foot soldier mask. There's more. This is what the bulk of the draconic forces wear. Monspeak's gonna kind of walk over to the window and kind of scan the crowd outside, see if he can see any masks or anything.
It's hard to see masks from this distance. It's even with your kind of better eyes, it's still trying to see a masquerade mask at like 300 feet and down a hill in a tower. It's there's no way.
Yeah.
It's like me trying to see stuff without my glasses on.
Yeah, exactly.
Monspeak's gonna walk back and lean back on the table and put the dragon mask down on the table.
The whole time Norse has just kind of been like standing off to the side, kind of flipping one of her daggers as she's kind of like just looking at the floor listening. In like I don't want to be here. We're not getting paid for this. I don't like it. I don't want to. Cultist, I didn't sign up for this. Like, not saying that loud, but like that's 100% in her mindset.
Oh yeah, and it's visual too. Everyone can see that.
Yeah.
Hale's just sitting there like, hey, dragon cultists. Knew there were gonna be some. Didn't expect them so soon. Just sitting there like,
I love how unbothered she is. Do I have a bug bite on my ear?
Yes.
It's funny.
I have one like in my hairline here.
It's funny. Monspeak is like normally just calm, kind of laid back, polite, and everything. He sees the cultist, instant death. Like he like chooses murder. Meanwhile, Hale's just like, yeah, cool. I'm alive.
No. Damn. That's cool.
Fine.
She's just vibing in the corner.
Me and any.
This is what happens. This is what happens when there's a herbo in the room. Okay.
As we discuss our next, the governor steps ordering. As we discuss our next steps, you may use the war room to get a break from the people outside. He's looking out the door now. He's just at the swarm of people, constant noise coming from them. It's just it's awful. Right? Like mostly crying and whatnot, moaning and groaning coming from the entire courtyard. Now that the clouds are kind of faded, there's more moonlight, so you can see pretty much. There's people all throughout the city. Alright.
Is your mic away from your mouth?
And after like
Thank you.
1 or 2 minutes, everybody can hear music coming from the courtyard. Specifically a pan flute, a hand drum, and sometimes a dulcimer being played.
How are you playing those at the same time?
He's a one-man man, Megan.
The one-man band. Because I have like a little pan flute thing made that he can play the pan flute, and he has a dulcimer.
Like a harmonica thing?
Yeah, like a little holder that goes around his neck.
I feel like that just shows me you've never played a pan flute before.
Raise your hand here if you've ever played a pan flute. Okay, you all fuck.
I got one downstairs. I can play right now.
I have one in storage in the basement.
You can only make something that you can make something that holds it around, so you can still play it without actually having to hold it.
It depends. It depends on the
Whatever.
It's hard because it's like
a
this.
variety of music coming from the courtyard. Sorry for trying to get technical and specific.
Never try that with us.
Yeah, I can't win.
You're just playing a harmonica.
You hear pan flute and a dulcimer from time to time, switching up which one is being played.
Thank you. That makes sense.
Just took out some bagpipes and everyone's happy.
There we go.
I could have somebody else probably knows how to play an instrument in that corner, and he probably could have joined and played one of my instruments.
You right?
You're right. I will be right back after.
Actually, hold on. Uh, just as you see the sun peeking over, as it seems to be about 6 a.m. now, fighting through the night. It's quiet now, and the governor takes you guys. There's a small room attached to the war room, which seems to be a kind of common room area. There's furniture in there. It's not a great accommodation, but you guys can rest here for now. Uh, I will have some jobs for you in a bit, but you guys have been fighting since you got here. I don't want you guys tired as you're going out. You can lie here for a while. If you need anything, talk to my scholar or my war master, and they will try to help you.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It's not much you can do against an army, but it is good to have adventurers, right? You are adventurers.
We're a help.
All right.
I think any hour away from our base operations that counts as an adventure. We're 2 hours out, so yes.
Mhm. As he leaves the room, you hear the music of the dulcimer and the music of the pan flute kind of float around. Uh, Finnegan gets told he can sleep here too. As the music kind of courses through the courtyard, you hear the crying come to a low. It's very calm, very morale isn't high, but morale isn't going down at the moment, so that's good. And as the sun comes up, the clouds seem to go away. Um, doesn't be any sign. Even the crowds outside have kind of started dissipating, as kobolds don't like sunlight, goblins don't like sunlight, so they've already kind of left. Um, it's just a whole lot of nothing as you guys sit down, hang out about in the common area. There's uh, a man comes in, bread, cheese, very small portions, about ration size, but try to get your strength back, helpers.
Well,
Yeah.
get some sleep, actually.
You can
Tell
all
a little story.
take a I'm gonna say short rest right now.
A
Um,
medium rest.
yeah, because I'm calling it here. I'll decide if it's a long rest next session, pretty much. Depends on
Right.
how next session is planned to go. But you can take a short rest now, and this is where we're leaving off for tonight.
We leveling up yet?
Oh, dude, so soon.
That face scares me,
That face is awful.
Ew.
Ken.